really get it going and pull that game out late.
Yeah, triple digits on that pitch count, 105, 7 strikeouts, and the Roadrunners got the victory 6-5 over Ohio State. Now for Coastal, Brian, obviously they've gone through a tough spell, losing a lot of talented pitchers, but I think they'd like to see that offense start to produce a few more runs, and Kevin Schnall knows that he's got a good team, but he has a few veterans that aren't hitting maybe at the level he would expect.
Absolutely. You know, there's two sides of the coin for a team. It's not just pitching and it's not just offense. You have to play complementary baseball, and this Coastal Carolina team, they were definitely going to plan on leaning into their pitching staff this year. They had a very good starting rotation, very good bullpen, but all of a sudden you get a couple of injuries to both, and you need the offense to start to pick up that pitching.
Earlier today, Ohio State fell to the Rebels of Ole Miss 8-0. Of course, this is a fun game between two teams that made a lot of noise last year. And then the nightcap will feature the Texas Longhorns, undefeated. They'll take on the Baylor Bears, reuniting that rivalry from all of those Big 12 days. Brian and I will step aside. We'll come back to beautiful Daikin Park. We've got Coastal Carolina, UTSA, our starting lineups. Our first pitch straight ahead.
To Daikin Park.
And that ball is gone!
Cam Smith. Christian Walker Winston and the Astros win it in the walk-off.
The best against the best.
What do you know about this baseball? Where samurai swing bats. Here, teammates become opponents. Anyone can be a superhero. And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball, with nothing held back. Expect everything.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. So we start by listening to you. Whether you're looking for customized insurance, HR, or financial solutions to protect your home, your car, your health, your business, or your employees, our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Higginbotham, insurance, HR, and financial services inspired by you.
Here's your starting lineups. Starting first with the Roadrunners of UTSA. Caden Miller leading off. Dentlison and Hayworth the top three. Stuckey is their fifth-year senior. Marquette, the junior college transfer. At Hallmark, the coach's kid. Dennis Gruhl, Diaz, and Fallon, the starting nine for the Roadrunners. And the pitcher they will be facing today on the mound for Coastal is Ross Norman. 5 innings pitched on the year, 10 hits and 8 runs, hasn't walked anybody. But again, Brian, all these starters right now for Coastal just trying to give this team some innings and a good start.
Absolutely. They've got two guys out with injury who they were banking on picking up a fair share of innings for this pitching staff. So everybody gets ticked up in the pecking order a little bit. Ross Norman certainly has the stuff. Fastball 95, 96 miles an hour, a couple of good breaking balls. The results just hasn't been there. It's time for the two to match up.
Be fun to see that velo today, as Brian mentioned. And here is Caden Miller, the first baseman, leading off, hitting in a .321 clip, and we are off and rolling. Outdoor baseball, temperatures in the 80s here in downtown Houston at Daikin Park. Plate umpire is Eric Gaucher. Ron Teague at first, Michael Durantis at second, Ryan Broussard umpires at third. That ball's laced to the gap, left center field. Taylor on the move, and he won't get there. That's a tough play in the well, and it rattles around one of the pillars. Miller will turn second and slam on the brakes with a leadoff double.
Didn't take very long for that cut out and well in left field to come into play out there for Jordan Taylor. You always have to know where that is, but when the ball really gets right up against that wall, it's almost impossible to play it right. You just have to guess whether or not it's going to go off the wall. Looked like it might ricochet back. It ends up in the well. Easy stand-up double.
Yeah, poor Taylor. He's thinking, I'm wondering how many innings I can get in here at Daikin Park without having the features come into play. It took a couple of pitches.
And you always have to know, you always have to be conscious of that cut, but really what you're trying to do is play around it, not through it.
That's a smash that'll propel past the shortstop Barango into left. Miller will score. Detlefson hit that ball on the screws, and he's put the Roadrunners in front 1-0.
Well, you can see what the approach from this UTSA offense is going to be out of the gates, and that's be aggressive, whether or not it's they feel like it matches up well with Ross Norman's stuff, or if they don't want to get deep into the counts fighting with these shadows. They're out there swinging it, and a couple of good swings early.
No, it's a good point. The shadows might be a little bit of a factor today. Bright sunshine in center and shadows around the plate. This is Lane Hayworth. Takes a pitch upstairs for a ball. All Hayworth has done so far this year, Brian, is go 18 for 35.
That's a pretty good start.
That's a tremendous start at 5-14. Texas native, Wichita State transfer, left-handed batter who takes one down. And there's one of those fastballs. That was at 94. Really, in essence, this matchup today is between two teams that I think it might be a little bit insulting to say they're mid-major programs, even though they might be mid-major athletic departments considering football and basketball. But Coastal, one of the elite baseball programs, got all the way to the College World Series championship 3-game set. And then UTSA, they win the regional in Austin and go to the super regional for the very first time.
Hey, you can call them whatever you want when it comes to what conference they come from, or power this, power that. What they are is they're powerhouse baseball programs, and they are teams that are on the rise, that have a lot of momentum behind them. And when you do that, it becomes replicable. You go out there and all of a sudden the recruiting gets better and it gets a little bit easier, and you start bringing in a lot of talent, and these are two really good, really deep rosters.
No, I like that. Consistency is so tough to find in today's day and age because of the transfer portal and all the changes that occur on a year in and year out basis. But when you start to build something, as these coaches have, and these programs so consistent and so good, makes it a little bit easier to recruit because you're not selling air, you're selling results.
Talent flocks to talent, and talent flocks to success. And when you go out there, and there's a lot more college baseball on TV than there ever used to be, especially 20, 30 years ago. But most people are tuning in when it's regional and super regional time, and when you see these teams out there winning at that level, kids want to go there.
It's really well said. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That ball's drilled to right field. How far will this one go? Back to the fence and beyond. A home run from Hayworth. His second of the season. And right out of the gates, it's 3-0 UTSA.
It was a slow start on offense for UTSA in the game yesterday. Not the case whatsoever today. 3 at-bats, 3 hits. Lane Hayworth, 3-2 breaking ball. He was all over it. There's no guessing. Obviously no trouble picking up spin, but he just went out there, put a great swing on a breaking ball that found the middle of the zone. And before they record an out, Coastal Carolina finds themselves down 3-0.
Not the start the Chanticleers wanted to see. The double, the single, the 2-run bomb from Hayworth.
Now, Ross Norman trying to get settled in here in the first inning, trying to find the strike zone, which is what you want your pitcher to do. But against a dangerous offense like UTSA, it's got to be quality strikes. It can't be middle of the zone strikes. Whether that's the fastball or the breaking ball, it's got to be on the corners, it's got to be on the edges. They're up there, they're aggressive, and they got a bunch of guys swinging the bat well.
Norman is a Georgia State transfer. In a couple of years there, he threw more than 100 innings. His ERA was over 8. So you see the raw stuff, but the results haven't been quite what he or maybe now Coastal would like. And you start to think about just getting out of this inning first and foremost, and there's 3 runs home and nobody out.
Well, absolutely, because not only do you have to figure out how to settle in and control the damage here early, because there's a lot of baseball to be played, but you've also got to consider there's another game coming up in this tournament tomorrow, and you can't make an early exit as a starting pitcher and torch the bullpen for the rest of the weekend.
Andrew Stuckey, the catcher's hit a couple of home runs. Last year hit .324, had an OPS up near 1,000. So a big part of this UTSA offense. Norman fighting it just a bit, and the count, I believe, is 3-0. Coastal yesterday, they fell to Texas 8-1, and late in the game, Texas added 4 runs. That ball's lifted in the air to left field, but Taylor should have a play and does. Shy of the track, he'll put it away. That's the first out for the Chanticleers. But Brian, I think we've seen a couple of games in this event already, and this is number 5, where a team just has to run a couple of guys out there late to absorb some innings, and it may not always be pretty to kind of save some guys maybe for the next game.
No, absolutely. You know, usually you're thinking of it from an offensive perspective when you go and you're playing the same team 3 times in a row. If we can get into the bullpen early, we can kind of reap the benefits later. But the other side of that is, if you're in a game where, you know, you're down a bunch of runs late, you kind of have to punt on that game and save some bullets for the next day.
With 1 gone, though, Josh Arquette, the third baseman, in a Panola College transfer. Pretty good pitch for a strike over the outside edge.
That's the breaking ball that Norman wants to see, getting it down into his glove side, not kind of hanging up in the middle of the zone.
Pretty quick, compact windup, and he buries one in the dirt again to his catcher Tazi. I think sometimes, though, if you're Coastal, again, this is a top 10 program that competed for a national championship a year ago. You see this schedule and you circle this event. First, you know it's going to be a lot of fun to come to a big league ballpark and play against some top tier talent. But then obviously you want to do well. Norman thought he had a punch out. Instead, the count 2-2, and then you go through this rash of unbelievable top tier pitching injuries within the last week, and it ceases to be as much fun, and then you're just trying to swim to the surface. You don't want this weekend to really kind of set you back in many different ways.
Well, you're going to face adversity during the course of the baseball season, no doubt. It's tough when a whole bunch of adversity all shows itself at one time, and that's kind of where Coastal's at right now. They've got some guys off to slow starts offensively. They've got some pretty big time arms on the shelf, and you've just got to find a way to get through it.
2-2 has popped up. It'll be banking out a play to the right. No one ever said baseball is fair, but sometimes you like to spread out the unfairness just a bit, and they have not been able to do it. I know coaches will say, and I've talked to a handful of different college coaches that are going through something similar, maybe not losing All-Americans, but losing big time players that they'll have at the top of their lineup or players at the top of their rotation. Another one fouled back, and the coaches will throw out the disclaimer, hey, nobody cares about our problems. I'm like, Coach, I care. I feel bad for you, because you know there's not really a manual when it comes to losing 2 All-American starters. You're your top 2 or 3 hitters in your lineup.
You can only do so much. You put together the roster through recruiting out of high school, recruiting out of the portal. You think you have a bunch of talent and plenty of talent to get you through the year. But you get a couple All-American relievers down. You get maybe the best starting pitcher in college baseball down along with your Saturday guy. And all of a sudden, it doesn't matter how deep your roster is. You're thinking, how do we get through the weekend, and how do we get through a couple of weeks?
Especially in this 34-man roster limit. Another 2-2 pitch, and that's a comebacker speared by Norman. Sometime you have to help your own cause, and he just did. That ball was tattooed back up the box, and he made the play to get out number 2.
Ball got back through the box in a hurry. Late afternoon, the field's dried out, starting to get a little harder on that dirt out in front of home plate. Came through hot, but Norman used every bit of that 6'7" frame to snag that one.
Two gone for Christian Hallmark. Another Roadrunner off to a very good start. 8 hits in 20 at bats.
Timer violation.
Sure did. We were due for one of those. Kevin Schnall wants an explanation from Mary Gaucher. He's pointing to his ear, so I'm not sure if that was a PitchCom malfunction of some sort or a reset.
It seems like he's trying to make the case that Ross Norman was trying to get the sign.
I'm not sure if maybe he was tapping his device saying, hey, send it to me again, or I didn't hear it, didn't get it, whatever the case may be. And sometimes you get some dispensation, but maybe not in this situation.
No, I think you really have to make it obvious that you're struggling with it. If you're just kind of trying to figure it out, you know, they're going to think that's business as usual.
He may have taken off that ball. He made a gesture up to the press box. We'll see. 2 outs, bases empty, 3 runs in this inning, and Hallmark with a big wave and a miss. There's that juice at 95. One thing this offense has done for the Roadrunners, though, is score runs. First 6 games, they had 10 runs or more. Now, in the last 3, they've been below 10. But, again, they got the victory yesterday against Ohio State. Lost midweek to Texas State. Hallmark with another big wave and a miss. So Norman bounces back, retires the last 3 that he faces. Unfortunately for him, the top 3 scored. And Coastal coming in the back.
Excitement, the emotion, the passion, epic highlights, inspirational stories, unrivaled coverage. This is H-Town High School Sports with Todd Freed.
See it all right here on Space City Home Network.
This season, we're all fire. Higher aspirations, bigger dreams.
And Space City Home Network is bringing you the most live coverage, plus pre- and post-game analysis.
They left everything on the court.
And exclusive content you can't get anywhere else.
From behind the scenes to every moment that matters, we are here.
We fought, came out to win.
Are you ready, H-Town? Because it's all fire on Space City Home Network.
Well, it's a 3-run top of the first inning for the Roadrunners. And the shot to clears. Ready to come to bat with this lineup. Mijos leading off. Mazan will bat second. Rex Watson bats third. Then Walker, the third baseman. Barthol, the second baseman. And Jordan Taylor in left. Thorndike at first. Tazi behind the plate. And Durango, the shortstop, batting ninth. For Coastal entering play here this afternoon at 6 and 3. And the pitcher on the mound for the Roadrunners is Kendall Dove.
Kendall Dove has really good stuff for UTSA. He's a big kid, 6'5", 94, 95 miles an hour with the fastball, cutter, slider to go with it. But his best pitch is his changeup. Gets a ton of swings and misses on it. Throw it to lefties, throw it to righties. That's a tough pitch to pick up when a pitcher has it going.
Excited to see that changeup. New Caney High School product, the same school that produced Adam Dunn. A&M Corpus Christi transfer is Kendall Dove. And he starts Dean Mijos with a pitch out of the zone. You see the numbers for Mijos. 15 hits already this season. Led off a night ago. Had one of the 3 hits for Coastal in an 8-1 loss to Texas. And listen, Ruger Riojas was outstanding for the Longhorns. Struck out 11 in 5 innings. Gave up just 1 hit. So it was tough sledding out of the gates. Coastal would love to find a few more hits today, and Mijos will fist one down the line and left, and that thing will continue all the way to the corner. We just lose Detlefson, and now finally the ball comes out of the left field end of the stadium, and Mijos with a double to begin the bottom of the first inning.
It's a heck of a way to get it started offensively right there for Dean Mijos. Gets In a favorable count, 2-0, might as well get really aggressive, make sure you're on time. Doesn't have to be a perfect pitch. This pitch is actually out of the zone in, but because he's able to really get the bat head out, goes out there, gets it, just keeps it fair, and all of a sudden this Coastal offense is in business, which there hadn't been much business recently.
No, I'm sure a run or two would kind of take a little bit of the pressure off, and this is Trace Mazan, the DH. Weatherford Junior College product. Pitch up around his hands for ball one. See, the 2 home runs a year ago in the JUCO ranks, he at 15, and that's one thing that this Coastal team does not have a ton of power. Now, they are a very resourceful offense when clicking, but last year for all those wins, Brian, just 2 players with double-figure home runs, and it was at 10 and 12.
That's just not their game. They're not going out there trying to really lift and hit the ball out of the ballpark. They got some guys who have a little bit of juice and will get underneath one every once in a while, but they're an execution offense.
Good stop by Stuckey, able to smother that baseball and keep it in front of him.
And in these kinds of situations, you need to remind yourself what kind of offense you are. Yes, you're down early. Yes, things haven't been going great, but you're in a situation right here where you got to run around second base, nobody out. Moving him over is still a good play. You don't have to get 3 runs back in this at bat.
2-1 pitch to Mazan is upstairs, and to your point about this offense a year ago, they led the nation in hit by pitches and sacrifice flies, and those might not be sexy totals, but that's putting points on the board, so to speak. It's putting runs in the column, getting runners on base.
They are effective, and when you have an approach,
there's a chopper foul outside of third base.
You have an approach that you preach to your kids, and you have a team that buys in. It becomes a kind of offense that can really wear teams down, and UTSA is the same way as Coastal Carolina. When it's quality at bat after quality at bat, eventually there's going to be a crack that shows up somewhere in the opposing pitcher.
All right, got a follow-up for you after this 3-2 pitch from Dove to Mazan after a long pause, and here it comes. It's a chopper to third. Arquette will scoop. He has one play. That's first, and it skips by Miller. Mijos will come home to score. The throw to second base is not in time. Coastal's on the board, and it's a 3-1 game.
Well, Arquette played it well on the bounce. He came in and charged that ball and picked it cleanly. It was a good read by Dean Mijos at second base. You can see him moving in behind the third baseman. He was going to advance. The throw just came up short and kind of tailed into the runner where Caden Miller couldn't go get it. And here you go, Coastal. Here's some opportunities for you.
Rex Watson, the batter. San Diego transfer. He's going to hit one a mile in the air, but foul down the line and right. It'll bend and be out of play. Going to be a hit and an error on that last sequence. Infield base hit, the E5, no RBI. Brian, you were talking about this offense, and I'm curious if you're the head coach and Kevin Schnall, do you look for players who fit your system, or do you just grab talented players and teach them the offensive system that you prefer and want?
You want to have players that can be the type of player that you want and can have the skill set and do the things that you need, and you go out there and you start to recruit a certain type of player that fits that mold. Now, when you've had the success that Coastal Carolina has had, the talent level all of a sudden rises of those players who fit that mold, and then you really got something.
No, it makes sense. Dove has given up a double and a single, had an error made behind him, and that one shot foul down the line and left. Because when you start winning games like Coastal did a year ago with 56 wins, a 26-game winning streak, you're going to have a lot of young players interested in being part of your program, whether that's high school kids, whether that's transfers. But when you have a specific offense, and he talked to us a lot about consistency and what they prefer as a program, you do look for kind of a specific type of player. You may have more to pick from, but you're still looking for the similar type of athlete and ball player.
Absolutely, and there's traits that you can go out there and look for, or there are players that you can go out there and look for, and everybody loves a kid who's tall and strong and has big exit velocities and great arm strength, but go watch a kid play and you know who the ball players are.
Kendall Dove could use it out here in the bottom of the first inning. There's a wave and a miss. A throw to third. It's a little bit offline. Mazan gets the stolen base. So Watson will K. It's an interesting situation with the runner going with a left-handed batter. Tell you what, had that throw been on the money, would have been a strike him out, throw him out in DP.
Mazan was timing that up all throughout the at-bat. He's kind of getting a walking lead there, and if Kendall Dove wasn't going to make him stop his feet, he wasn't going to stop on his own, just continues on and goes into third base.
So Walker Mitchell, the third baseman, in. Infielders at regular depth all the way around. They'll concede the second run on a ground ball to anybody maybe other than the mound. So a busy first inning already, and we're not done. Mitchell takes, and Stuckey smothered that one. Mitchell yesterday drove in the lone Coastal run with a single in the seventh inning, part of a 1-for-3 game. The Texas pitcher struck out 17 Chanticleers, and that's a number I have a feeling they will not reach, or I know they hope not to reach at any point in any games to follow this season. Especially when you're trying to come from behind and you're not a home run hitting team, you need to just put the ball in play and hope for a little bit of love or luck. 17 Ks, not part of the formula or the recipe. Dove's next pitch. Did he get the corner? Nope, he did not. 3-1.
Pretty well located breaking ball right there from Kendall Dove. He wanted it. He thought it was a strike. Corners are pretty tight right now. You know, you're going to have to really earn that corner to get the call.
Big pitch in this first inning, and Mitchell is going to pop one up, and this is a big time pop up behind the plate. Stuckey off with the mask, and he will surround that ball to make the catch. That's a big second out.
It's exactly what Kendall Dove is looking for right there as he elevates the fastball. You know, anything pretty much on the ground is going to get the job done and get the runner in from third. You go up top in the strike zone, maybe you get the swing and miss, maybe you get the infield pop-up, which is exactly what he got.
So for the Roadrunners, a chance to get out of here, giving up just one run. Blake Barthol, the second baseman, bats. 3 runs batted in on the campaign. Rough game, though, for Barthol yesterday. He struck out all 4 times in. This is a guy that has hit 34 homers over his last 3 seasons. Hasn't homered this year, but 4 at-bats, 4 Ks last night. Big wave of a miss. Roadrunners got 3 at the top of the first. Chanticleers have answered with 1, but they like to find a way to get Mazan home from third. Duff thrown many of those changeups yet?
Haven't seen it. It's been more of a fastball breaking ball mix.
He's fouled back and out of play. When we talk about an excellent changeup, I'm kind of curious to see it.
Runners in scoring position would be a good time.
This will be his 22nd pitch of the inning. Calmly comes set. The pitch on the way is lifted in the air. Foul ground, third base side. Arquette might have a chance to make the play, and it just carried over the screen and the net and bounced up into the seats. Both the mound and the plate now in shadow. Sunshine on the right side of the diamond. Outdoor, roof open baseball at Dyken Park. Dove really patient, and then finally time was called by Barthol. He gets into that set position, and he does not immediately deliver to the plate.
It's a weapon that some pitchers will use, try to kind of lull the hitter to sleep. Really what you do after that is you hold till you step off, and the next time you hold, and then you pitch.
That's a lot of holding right there. Kind of in a staring contest right now between Dove and Barthol. Another long pause. This is your hold pitch, and it's outside, and the count has gone full. And the pitch timer is running. It's at 13 right now, even before Dove gets back in contact with that rubber. The last thing he wants to do is commit a timer violation on a 3-2 count. He comes set with the timer at 3 and pitches with 2. Fouled away, and we'll do it again. This would be a big pick-me-up for Coastal if Barthol can get on base or come through and not get a run. Lifts a high pop-up into shallow right center. Hayworth needs to get there, and he will finally call off Diaz to make the catch. There was a moment of trepidation for Diaz, the second baseman, but Hayworth made the play and ends the inning. Shot's going to run, but that's it. 3-1 Roadrunners as we go to the second.
Hi, Alice. I'm here for
your new prescription. Your refill. Indigestion again. Aisle 3. Joint support. Aisle 6. Uh-oh. Aisle 5. Vitamin C. Aisle 7. Let me call your doctor. Your insurance. Your grandkids are growing like weeds. Snacks are on aisle 9.
Go ahead. See you next time, Alice.
I'll see you.
A fuller life deserves fuller care. That's the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Talent and teamwork. Big thinking and bold action. When the right elements combine, something amazing happens. UT San Antonio brings a world-class academic health center and a top-tier research university together, creating a force for excellence in education, discovery, and care. Making bold ambitions real. Your ambition has a place, and it's here.
Astros single game tickets for the first half of the 2026 season are on sale now. Get tickets for marquee matchups against the Yankees, the Dodgers, Rangers, and more. Visit Astros.com/SGT to secure your Astros tickets today. Spring training underway, a college classic in full force. It's baseball time in Texas and beyond as we go to the second. Garrett Gruhl, the DH, leads off against Ross Norman.
Big inning for Ross Norman.
Feels that way.
Gives up the crooked number in the top half, but his offense comes back, scratches one across. They have a little something going. See if he can get back in that dugout quick.
That's poked down the line and right. Bending foul. It's going to be at a play. And you kind of beat me to it. I'm kind of curious to see what Norman will provide the shots because, you know, 3 batters in, it's 3-0. Then he sets down 3 in a row when he really could have let things get away. So I guess we'll kind of find out if he has indeed settled in here in the second.
Well, the first thing that I saw this inning is the first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Don't let this UTSA offense go out there and just ambush fastballs early in counts, which is kind of how they got the game started.
2 quick strikes on Gruhl. That pitch up and out. Murray State junior college transfer, Texas A&M Corpus Christi as well. And the wind in the pitch, and that looks like it's right down the chute and is. Strike 3 called, so Gruhl must have been sitting on something else.
If you're going to take a 2-strike fastball down the middle, that you're up there looking for something else.
You have to be, right?
If you think that you've got something on a pitcher and kind of maybe have a sequencing down or something, and you're sitting on a breaking ball, it's going to be tough to pull the trigger, even if it's right down the middle.
Diego Diaz, the second baseman, steps in. 24 at-bats on the season, 16 starts a year ago. As Coastal goes into the shift, normally when you're down 2 strikes, you're begging to get a fastball.
I'd love a fastball down the middle at any time.
But you feel like you're a little bit defensive when you're down in the count, but that didn't quite work out for Gruhl. Bunt is pushed towards third. Mitchell, the lone infielder on that side of the diamond, almost made a sensational play, but Thorndike could not secure it at first. Not sure if that ball was catchable or not, but it was off the glove of the first baseman Thorndike, and Diaz is aboard.
Well, this is one of the calling cards of the UTSA offense. It's apply pressure somehow, whether it's putting runners on base via the hit by pitch and creating traffic on the bases, or making the defense have to handle the ball. You get this Coastal infield in a shift, so the third baseman has a little bit longer of a way to go to pick that bunt up. It's a tough play. Make them make the tough play.
Goes a bunt hit, so Jordan Ballin, the shortstop, already squaring. He goes into a deep crouch. Throw to first instead. Roadrunners up 3-1, potentially bunting with 1 out at the bottom of the lineup. But Ballin's an interesting guy when it comes to maybe the analytics or some of the numbers, because, Brian, you look at what he did a year ago. His on-base percentage was .541. He had twice as many walks as strikeouts. 41 walks, 20 Ks, not bunting here as he slashes one foul down the line and left. Listen, I'm not sure where he batted in the lineup last year, but when you have an on-base percentage of .541 with all of those walks, you're a weapon in a different way.
No, absolutely. And if you're going to go out there and just constantly try to apply pressure to an opposing team, you have to have guys that know how to get on base to apply that pressure, and Ballin certainly has shown the ability to do that. It's not about just going out there and banging the ball over the wall for either of these offenses.
Well, he's not a big guy, 5'9", 175 pounds. He goes into a little bit of a crouch as well. Flip to first, and Diaz, who's not attempted to steal this year, back in diving. Roadrunners got 3 at the top of the first. Coastal answered with 1 in the bottom of the inning. A pause before the big leg kick and a pitch. Ballin sprays one to left field. Taylor starts to backpedal. He was on the track and then he reached the fence. That was a scary last stride or two backwards into the wall, but the play was made.
That wall will sneak up on you quickly out there in left field, especially when the roof's open and the wind's blowing out, and the flags are getting a little bit stiffer than they were in this first game today. These outfielders are going to have to keep an eye on it, because all of a sudden left field, left center field is going to become a jet stream when that ball's up high enough.
Problem is, if you backpedal and crash into that fence, it's not the padded variety.
That's no fun.
It can't be, as Caden Miller back to the top of the lineup, doubled to the edge of the Crawford boxes in the first. Feel like with that roof open and the wind kind of blowing out, it might add another 6, 7, 8 feet or more, maybe to a high fly ball.
Oh, the way that it's blowing now, maybe even more than that. It's blowing pretty stiff, especially if you get it up above kind of seat level first couple decks. It'll really take off in the gap.
He was kind of at the edge of that warning track, and all of a sudden he backs up right at the base of the fence, and fortunately for the shot to clear, as he made the catch. 2 outs in the count. A strike on Caden Miller. Soft pop up behind the plate. Tazi will not have a play. So Miller had the double a year ago, 13 doubles for this Roadrunners team. And if you take a look at the numbers, and I know it's early again, this is the 10th game for UTSA, but a team batting average of .343. That's exactly 100 points higher than Coastal's team batting average through their 9 games.
Well, they've certainly gotten off to as good a start as you could hope for, and Pat Hallmark even made the comment that early on in the season he likes to do a lot of mixing and matching, get guys at bats, see what he has.
2-strike pitch is high. Throw down to second base is late, and Diaz with the bat.
But with the way some of these guys have swung the bat for UTSA, it's hard not to just kind of write out the same lineup and give the at-bats to the guys that are swinging it.
I think both make sense. See, this was a pretty good pitch to handle, but Diaz had the base stolen. It does feel like this first month is an opportunity maybe to start 11, 12, 13 different position players. That pitch down and into Miller. On the same sense, sometimes if it's not broke, don't fix it.
If you've got 6, 7 guys who are running an OPS over 1,000 out there, why are you going to mix it up?
You're just tinkering for the sake of tinkering.
Yeah.
Canna's gone full to Miller. Here comes the payoff pitch. Tapper foul. Will do it again. But this is an unusual stretch now in college baseball. Again, a 34-man roster for most teams. So if you get a couple of guys injured, you can't go to AAA. If you have a couple of guys struggling, your options are those that are on your bench. And if they haven't been playing, it might not be easy either. Here's the payoff pitch. Tag to center, right to Mijos. He was in the perfect spot. He'll make the catch, and that will end the top of the second inning. Bunt hit, man left. We hit at the bottom of the frame. The Roadrunners maintain a 2-run advantage over the Chanticleers.
Reliant is the home of free electricity, so your home can be the home of epic bedtime stories. Beginning with the Flex Your Credits electricity plan, which gives you your 2 highest use days free every week automatically. And for a plot twist, you also get $200 in bill credits for even more savings. You could say we help put the happy and happily ever after. The Flex Your Credits electricity plan from Reliant, official energy provider of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Every shot's lively, every shot means something. You know, really kind of got an energy that's different than a lot of the rest of the course.
There's so many people here, so it's a little bit more than a golf clap.
Well, you're right on top of the action, and it's gotten pretty loud coming through already.
It's nice to see how the professionals play the same holes that we've played. Truly a great experience. It's easily the best hole on the course.
Hey kids, want to be a part of something big? Join the Astros Buddies Club, presented by HEB, the official kids club of the Houston Astros. Members 12 and under get 4 tickets to select Astros games, plus awesome gear, a drawstring bag, a widget hat, socks, shoe charms, and a cool lanyard. You'll also have chances to be a part of exclusive experiences like autograph sessions, clinics, parades, and more. All this for just $45. Sign up at astros.com/buddies and become part of the team today.
Brian, can we ask for a better day for baseball weather-wise here in downtown Houston?
You don't get many days like this.
Better,
this
is special.
This is perfect baseball weather.
Obviously, when you make your home base in San Antonio, Conway, South Carolina, you don't deal with some of the weather issues that other teams around the country do, but you can still appreciate this day we have in this ballpark as Jordan Taylor bats in the bottom of the second inning against Kendall Dove. Taylor, the Stetson transfer, 0 for 4 with a couple of Ks a night ago. His coach calls him a freak, and he means that in a positive way with the athleticism and whatnot. So wouldn't mind seeing some freak-like qualities today if Taylor wants to put on a show.
When they talk about Jordan Taylor, they talk about elite athleticism, bat speed, power, the ability to run. Now it's just about harnessing all that and turning an athlete into a baseball player, and it's starting to come along a little bit.
Dub the wind and the pitch. Might get to see the speed here. That's a chopper to third, picked up by Arquette, who makes the play and throws out Taylor, and there's one gone. I know every player is different, Brian. Is there kind of a benchmark, maybe a number of games or at-bats where you have a true athlete to get him more comfortable being a baseball player when it comes to reps and experience and years and whatever that might look like?
No, there is no magic number. Some guys pick it up a little bit faster, and it depends on what it is you're trying to do. If you're taking elite athleticism but have to build a swing mechanically, that's a different story than a swing that's kind of dialed in and you have to refine an approach and get in-game experience. So some guys, they can kind of get up to speed in a fall and hit the ground running in a spring season, and some guys it might take, a couple hundred at bats.
That makes sense. That swing is a funny thing as Colby Thorndike hits. 148 this year, 303 a season ago with a bunch of doubles. Just pinch hit 4 in the 7th inning last night. 0 for 2 with a couple of Ks. Holds those hands high. Swings and drives one out to center. Hallmark gliding back into the gap. He'll get there shy of the warning track and puts it away for out number 2.
We saw the ball in the last half inning really carry to left field. That ball from Thorndike right there looked like he caught it off the end of the bat. Still pushed Christian Hallmark almost to the warning track out there in center field. If you're an outfielder right now, you got to be thinking back first and then play it in front of you.
That's a great point. Even the sound didn't sound like he barreled it up, and yet it still traveled pretty good. Domenico Tazzi, the catcher, has a home run in his 4 hits on the season. And Dove will roll one in there for strike 1 on the curve. Busy first inning, both teams on the board, maybe a little calmer second. In fact, Kendall Dove would love a perfect frame. Looks like a pretty physical pitcher. I mean, he's not in any hurry when he gets out of the mound, but he does not look like someone who just got on campus not that long ago. That ball is lined right to short. Bolin picks it off his shoe tops, catches that liner to end the inning, and Coastal goes in order. We head to the 3rd inning for the Bruce Bolt College Classic. UTSA leading 3-1.
Is already heating up, and we're giving you the ultimate head start. Get guaranteed access to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Secure the best seat locations in Daikin Park. Enjoy 45% savings over single-game ticket prices. Plus, receive significant savings with your exclusive team store discount. And don't forget about your exclusive invite to season ticket holder experiences and events. Visit astros.com/season tickets for more information.
The excitement, the emotion, the passion, epic highlights, inspirational stories, unrivaled coverage. This is H-Town High School Sports with Todd Freed.
See it all right here on Space City Home Network.
Town, I've been waiting for it, you've been waiting for it, and now it's here.
They finally climbed that hill!
Catch your Rockets and Astros games for just $19.99 per month, or sign up all year for $199.99. That's $40 in savings.
Forget about it!
No cable, no satellite, no contracts. Just download the app and watch your teams.
Stream your teams direct with Space City Home Network Plus. Download today at schnplus.com.
It's a 3-1 UTSA lead here at Daikin Park. This is always one of the highlights of the college baseball calendar, but this year partnering with Bruce Bolt to put their name on this outstanding event. Bear Mayer joins us, the founder, the CEO. Are we having some fun this weekend?
A lot of fun. It's been great to be out here. Super excited to watch some good college ball.
We had a lot of fun last night. We were talking about the batting gloves and the golf gloves, and I know how much the kids like them. We've seen the kids down in the concourse at one of your stations. I want to talk to you about some of the big league players that are wearing these as well. But for those that weren't tuning in last night, just give us an idea how this company got off the ground with your foresight.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I started this when I was 16, sophomore in high school. Just got my first truck. Needed to find a way to make money, and I found a problem with batting gloves that I always had, which was tore through them in about 3-4 weeks, and just wanted to make a better fitting, feeling, and longer lasting batting glove.
What is step one when you decide, okay, I'm going to make a better batting glove? You start looking for materials, you start looking at designs. What's the first thing you do?
Step one was definitely materials. Most batting gloves on the market were made of and still are made of synthetic leathers, and so my first step was go and find the best and most durable leather on the market, and ended up finding Cabretta leather, which is the same leather used in golf gloves. And then came the design portion of it. You know, batting gloves have always just kind of go on the hand. No one's really taken the time to actually look into the conical shape of the fingers, the articulation of the wrist, and actually making something that is a glove fit like a glove.
And that's a lot right there. You got Brian raising an eyebrow. He's thinking about how he should have come up with this idea a long time ago.
I'm trying to think if they would have made me hit better. That's what I'm trying to think.
I think they're guaranteed 500 batting average, so that's pretty good.
300.
Detlefson with the single, and it brings up Hayworth, who homered in the first. We're seeing a lot of the commercials from Bruce Bolt over the course of our telecast, and maybe a chance to throw to runner at second base, but that throw was high, and Detlefson will advance. We're seeing Fernando Tatis, though. I know there's a number of big league guys. You've come from spring training. You've been in Florida and Arizona. How many different guys, the big leagues, try your stuff and want to use it? And you have a handful of different players, I'm sure, that are also promoting your gloves.
Yes, sir. It's incredible. We have an extensive group of guys, like you mentioned, Fernando Tatis, Harrison Bader, Brandon Nimmo, Jake Berger, all sorts of guys across the league, and then even more who just want to try the bat and gloves in general. And I mean, we have guys out there that we don't even have a contract with, and they show up on the TV wearing the gloves, and it just amazes us every time. So yeah, we have a great group of guys that we do work with, and then I mean, more guys every day who want to work with us, and we're so thankful for the opportunity, and we're blessed to be in a position where these guys actually want to try the brand and be a part of it.
Well, I know what those days are like when guys come through and they're showing batting gloves, they're showing cleats, they're showing gloves. Everybody wants to get their hands on stuff, especially when you've got the new stuff, the cool stuff. How much do you have to bring with you on a spring training trip? Because I'm sure you walk into those clubhouses and guys are just, they want everything, don't they?
Yes, sir. So definitely do. We definitely get questions like, hey, do you have gloves with you? Can I try them on? Can I get some? We actually, on our spring training trips the last couple of years, we haven't brought anything with us. We more so just go clubhouse to clubhouse, go and see our guys, meet with them, see how they're doing, let them know that we're around, and anything they need, you know, just let us know. We're a family-based company, and so you know, we try to treat everything and everybody like family, and just keep that feeling with everybody that this is a family. Let us know when you want something, let us know when you need something, and yeah, we're always around. But yeah, we have guys come up to us all the time like, where's the gear? Do you have it with you? So it's a lot of fun. We might have to start bringing some with us, is what it seems like.
Did you have a moment in spring training where somebody came up to you that you weren't expecting to talk to, that knew about your product, that wanted your product, that kind of gave you a bit of a wow moment?
Yeah, I'd say last year we walked into Met spring training down in St. Lucie, and Juan Soto walked up. He actually knew our VP of sports marketing pretty well, dapped him up, and you know, I was just kind of standing there like, oh, that's Juan Soto. And then he looks right at me, daps me up. I was like, that's the best dap I've ever gotten right there. But like Shohei last year, we were sitting in the Dodgers clubhouse waiting for Miguel Rojas to walk out, and Shohei just walks by. He goes, hey guys, you know, it's one of those really surreal moments where these guys that, you know, all kids these days are looking up to, but you were a kid at one point, and you were looking up to these guys as well. It's just a real feeling to be like, hey, I've kind of made it in a sense.
Well, and so it starts with batting gloves, and now there's the sliding pads, there's protective gear, there's arm sleeves, there's wrist. When did you kind of realize that, hey, this is catching on, we've got something here, let's see what all we can make, because there's a lot of different things out there that players need.
Yeah, I'd say that moment was in 2020. I started this in 2017. First sale was 2018. And then, you know, got to 2020, which was my senior year of high school, and Whistle Media out of New York, they came down to Austin. For whatever reason, they wanted to do a video on me and, you know, how I managed my business and school. And at the time, the business was maybe 2 sales a day, so it wasn't too hard to manage to get home and do that. But they came down, they shot the video, they released it February 6th of 2020. And the second they released that video, I don't know how. I don't know what it was. I legitimately, I think it was the Lord's work. All of a sudden, that video just caught on with everybody, and a lot of positive feedback. But on top of the positive feedback, people were going to the site and actually making orders. We had, I think, 72 orders that day. We went from 2 a day to 72, and it never slowed down.
What's that bump like when all of a sudden it starts showing up on big leaguers and it starts showing up on TV?
The bump was incredible with that. I mean, every time you get a big leaguer in your gear, it definitely brings credibility to the brand. So as soon as we started, and Harrison Bader was our first guy, as soon as he was seen in St. Louis wearing the gloves, it definitely, you know, we saw a spark in Missouri. But then, like, you know, you get Terrence Gore out in Kansas City, so same thing out in Missouri, but you're getting in Kansas City, now you're getting in St. Louis, and And then, you know, Brandon Nimmo up in New York, huge market, so that's a big one to see pop off. And so it's been a lot of fun. And then we had a Ledmus Diaz actually when he was down here in Houston. So we grabbed that Houston market pretty quick, and it's just a lot of fun. We like to just watch and see where all these things start popping up. And yeah, it's just really cool experience.
The logo's cool, the name is cool, but there is a story behind the name and the logo. So for those that weren't watching last night, tell us, because this is a good one.
Yeah, so the name comes from my grandfather. His name's Bruce. My dad's name is Bruce, and my middle name's Bruce. And then it just so happens that my grandfather's been struck by lightning twice. So we got Bruce Bolt. Grandfather is still alive. He's very much a part of the company. We
Is
see
he
him
considered playing the lottery?
If I don't think he has, and I think he should have. But yeah, he shows up to the office almost every day, and just hangs out with us. He's more distracting than anything, but it's great to have him there, and it's, you know, I couldn't ask for anything more, you know, being able to see him every day and spend time with him.
So when you've got a product like this, you know, a lot of R&D, trying to figure out what people need, what they like. I'm interested, you've got some guys now using your products who are the best in the world at what they do. Is the feedback that you get from big leaguers really valuable? Guys who are just so in tune with what you need on your hands to hit.
Absolutely, absolutely. The major league, the feedback they give is incredible. We've definitely taken pretty much all of it into account when building out these gloves. You know, we thought they were great from the start, which they were, but we've always been fine-tuning them and making sure that, you know, little things are done, like the padding we have on the hands, which are in the wear points of the gloves, just to adjusting, you know, cosmetic things. We take everything into account for sure. We get a lot of feedback from even little league kids. We'll take feedback from.
Like, you know,
we got to hit every market, and we got to make sure we're perfect for everybody. And I mean, again, we wouldn't be here without those markets. So got to make sure we take care of them.
Josh Arquette batting with the bases loaded, nobody out for the Roadrunners here in the third. Bear Mayer of Bruce Bolt joining us as UTSA looks to add to this 3-1 lead. And that pitch is cut and missed. Brian wasn't here last night. I was telling Bear that my daughter came back from playing college softball in Kansas, and her team uses the Bruce Bolt gloves, and she was such a fan that she named her cat Bruce. She had all of her Christmas gifts was various Bruce Bolt sweatshirts and whatnot. Is that a strike? It is not. But she is the pickiest 19-year-old in everything. But there's a couple of constants, and one is Bruce Bolt. So I would say if she is saying thumbs up, then everybody else is guaranteed to like it, because she could find fault with anything, but she finds no fault with your gear. So
I love to hear
well
that.
done.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad that she loves him.
That ball's launched to left. It's got a chance to go. Indeed it will. 4 will score on a grand slam from Josh Arquette to the Crawford boxes and beyond, and one big swing has blown this game open for UTSA.
Hey, you see what batting gloves he was wearing?
Tell me, come on.
He's wearing the Bolts.
Look at that, he's got the Bolts. The Bruce Bolt College Classic and the Bruce Bolt Grand Slam. We're making some marketing magic right here.
I love it. That was awesome.
A little bit of extra juice in those batting gloves. Get that ball out into the Crawford boxes. UTSA offense, they've been getting to Ross Norman, looking for that big swing, They just got it. Pretty nice pair of batting gloves on that swing, too.
I've always wondered what it'd be like to be up in the box when someone hits a massive home run, and that just answered my question. That was awesome.
You got the next best thing. You get to be up here in the booth, but to cap that one off, the fact that he was wearing the gloves makes that just a lot of fun. And it's a 7-1 UTSA lead here in the third inning.
You know, one thing that I notice about the gloves and the arm sleeves and all of y'all's products is the different color schemes and kind of trying to make unique products. When did that kind of come into the forefront of your mind of, hey, we're making the best quality stuff, but we're going to mix it up and make it look a little bit different from what is out there?
Yeah, that really, when we brought Harrison Bader on in 2020, 2021, we started this thing that we called our signature series line. And so Harrison was the first one, and I was designing a batting glove with him, and the Cardinals brought back their awesome powder blue alternate uniforms. And at the time, like, more and more teams were starting to bring back powder blues, and it Is that another one?
That ball's drilled to right, and it will be caught. Watson runs it down. That ball was absolutely torched.
That was smoked. Yeah, so we started designing this glove. More powder blue started coming to the forefront, and I was on the phone with Harrison. I was like, hey, let's do a powder blue and red to match your alternate. And the funny part is we designed it, and I showed it to my dad, and my dad, he looked at it, he goes, Bear, are you crazy? Like, no one's gonna buy this. Who's buying a powder blue and red glove? And I looked and I was just like, Dad, you're crazy. Harrison and I are gonna do this, and it's gonna sell well. And of course we put it out, and you know, that kind of started I feel like that started kind of the shift into color in baseball, and started allowing guys to show their personality within the sport a little bit more through their batting gloves, through their cleats, through everything. And yeah, that glove still does extremely well to this day, but that really opened the door to going in and creating more just extremely colorful, in my opinion, beautiful batting gloves.
I think that's a pretty fascinating conversation topic, because you think of Tatis and you think of Bader and you think of some of these other guys that they have big personalities and they want to show it off, and one way they can do it is with their gear, and then obviously when they like it, they like the colors, the kids like it, that's when you get something special rolling, that snowball going downhill.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So it's a lot of fun, and it's been an incredible journey, and we're not done yet.
Yeah, that's the fun part. You're only just beginning. I mean, when you're 16 years old and you put this company together and get it rolling. A lot left, and that's going to be a wave and a miss from Gruhl. This is the first year that Bruce Bold has been part of this College Classic. This event has been around for 26 years. It brings 6 college teams from around the country to Daikin Park, and that's a wave and a miss for out number 2. But I know I got excited, and certainly I think, as we mentioned yesterday, Bayer, with all these young kids in this big perfect game tournament, I think there's like 1,000 teams. We've seen a lot of kids here. I know they've been on the concourse at your gazebo or your display, and I would imagine they have a lot of fun too, talking to you about the product.
Yes, sir, absolutely. It's been a lot of fun over at what we're calling our HQ in left field, and kids have been running through, grabbing the free slide mitts that we have out there, and you know, getting to talk to them and learn about when they first experienced the brand and how long they've been using it. It's a lot of fun, and it's always a surreal thing to me to more so these little kids who are playing travel ball know the brand than major league players, you know, just because these kids are discovering it on their own rather than us reaching out to them. And it's a surreal feeling, and I'm definitely never going to get over it.
Well, it's going to be out there to right field. Should be caught, but it will not be caught. It kept carrying on Watson. Diaz might have a chance to cruise for 3. He's going to round, but stop there. And Brian, that ball may have been moved a bit by the wind, because it seemed like Watson had a beat on it, and then he just ran at the edge of the bullpen and could not make that play.
Well, that's that wind coming into play. You can see the flags are blowing out and to left field. So not only is the ball getting pushed deeper into the alley, but also further away from right field. So it turns what feels like it might be a routine play into a play that you really have to extend yourself on. And then you've got that bullpen wall coming into play as well.
There's outfielders this entire weekend that are kind of living what you had to go through. There's so many nooks and crannies and obstacles. There's no moat, but there's plenty of other challenges here.
Absolutely. There's a lot of uniqueness to this outfield here at Daikin Park.
Looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Hey, Bears, thanks for joining us again. It's been fun to learn about your company. It kind of gets me excited, and best wishes for continued success.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me up.
Pitching change break. We'll step aside and come back with a new pitcher in a 7-1 UTSA lead.
Reliant is the home of free electricity, so your home can be the home of epic bedtime stories. Beginning with the Flex Your Credits electricity plan, which gives you your 2 highest use days free every week automatically. And for a plot twist, you also get $200 in bill credits for even more savings. You could say we help put the happy and happily ever after. The Flex Your Credits electricity plan from Reliant, official energy provider of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
For one momentous month, Houston comes alive to showcase its best. Family, friends, old and new, gather in the heart of Texas to celebrate the spirit of the West. The stadium lights blaze every night, casting shadows on cowboys and cowgirls whose courage shines bright. Here, livestock aren't just animals. They're champions, companions, and a testament to a way of life. From legends who have graced the star-studded stage to the students who have a trail to blaze, more than 90 years of legacy, heritage, and grit are woven in. Rodeo Houston is a part of the fabric of our souls within. The melodies will echo forever in our hearts. To the memories made and the dreams yet to come, long live the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Welcome to the show.
Brian, that's something else when you can have a grand slam with a man wearing the Bruce Bolt gloves with the Bruce Bolt founder in the Bruce Bolt Classic. Not so much fun for the Chanticleers, but it was for the Roadrunners.
If you put your name on a tournament as the title sponsor, you want to get a little ROI, and I think a grand slam with your gloves on will constitute.
Pitching change. Jackson Appleman comes on to work. Norman just cannot get through that third inning.
No, that third inning just got away from Ross Norman and Jackson Appleman. He's coming in. He's a sinker slider guy, but he's got a two-part job right now. Right now, it's get out of this inning, kind of put out the fire with the runner at third base. But he's also going to have to probably provide a little bit of length for Coastal Carolina because that's an early exit for your starting pitcher.
It's amazing how that can compound itself, too. When you have shorter outings, you know you have to get some innings, and then that's in the back of your mind, a shorter outing, and then all of a sudden that uphill chase is on.
Well, it'll hurt you at any point, but as you get later in the weekend, it can hurt you. And this early in the season, you don't have a lot of guys stretched out all the way. You probably don't have many people down in the bullpen who've had those multi-inning outings. So you just got to try to find somebody who's throwing the ball well, and if you go out there and get some outs, keep running them out there.
Baldwin flew out to the fence and left in the second, just about got one up off the high wall. But Taylor made the catch. So already 7-1 UTSA, and another runner at third base after Diaz triple. And I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, Brian, but again, we're talking about 34-man rosters now. When, you know, with the opportunity to get guys full rides at some point in some programs and others, there had to be a roster limit. So again, when you have injuries or you're a little bit shorthanded, you really feel that pinch.
No, absolutely, and it can thin out pretty quickly, especially if you get a couple of injuries to the same position group, and you've got quite a few pitchers on the shelf for Coastal Carolina right now, and with just the 34-man roster, you know, only about half of those are going to be pitchers, so you start getting pretty deep into the depth of that roster.
One ball and two strikes to Baldwin. He is the 8th Roadrunner to bat this inning. Almost in no man's land. Thorndike will get there and win the race to the base. He went for the green or the teal base, but he got there. Retired Baldwin ends the inning. 8 bat, 4 score on one big swing. And the Chanticleers have some work to do as they come to bat in the bottom of the third.
Once a year, a rhythm thunders across Texas. It can't be tamed.
It can only be driven.
Texas is Ford Truck Month. Let's ride. These trucks, they haul, tow, and conquer everything in their path. So hold on tight and drive a Stampede.
Drive Super Duty with 0 for 60, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days. Plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash.
Ford is the best in Texas.
There's a fire here. A drive to learn more. To be more. To reach for more. Boldly, we innovate with research that makes an impact on our world. Boldly, we excel, turning challenges into triumphs. Boldly, we believe in ourselves and in each other. Coastal Carolina University. Boldly, we reach.
Dyken Park hosts Pool B play for the 2026 World Baseball Classic presented by Capital One. USA, Mexico, Brazil, Italy, and Great Britain clash from March the 6th to the 11th. Visit Astros.com/WBC to get tickets now. And the important question, Brian Bogusevic, will you be here for the World Baseball Classic?
I will be here in the city of Houston.
Okay. Wasn't exactly what I meant, but
still up in the air if I will be in the stadium.
Ty Barango hit by a pitch to begin the bottom of the third. I had a hard time just talking my way into the parking lot, so I don't know if I can talk my way into the World Baseball Classic.
Well, especially some of those games are going to be
epic,
rowdy.
In fact, the Team USA though is here with Mexico. I would imagine
that'll
be a starting point.
That'll be a really fun environment. International play is fun. International baseball is a ton of fun, and
Dean Mijos will foul one back and out of play. It does feel different, and the intensity this time of the year in spring training games is kind of non-existent. But we step away from those games for the Classic, which feel wildly important.
Well, all of a sudden it goes from spring training baseball, which is kind of blah, to what feels like playoff baseball, where every pitch you're on the edge of your seat.
0-1 is down in the dirt, blocked by Stuckey. Back to the top of the lineup here in the bottom of the third, but the shot's down by 6. I love it that Dyken Park can host. I think Houston has become such a big event city. We've seen it with the college football playoff. The NCAA tournament will be here in about a month, just a couple of blocks down the way at Toyota Center. This summer will be extra busy, of course, with the World Cup, but then to have the World Baseball Classic. I mean, you're talking about every big-time event you can have for the most part.
It seems like everything that's happening in sports is going to happen in Houston in some capacity.
Wave and a miss from Mijos.
Wouldn't mind seeing another World Series here in 2026 also.
That's always hanging out there. Houston's hosted the Super Bowl before, but some of these events just don't come around that often, like the World Cup or the World Baseball Classic. But to have them coincide in the matter of really a couple of weeks. 1-2, just a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And when this World Baseball Classic was targeting Houston a couple of years ago, I was hoping they could still find a way to have the College Classic, because you start talking about the wear and the tear in the stadium and the field and all that goes into preparing for that event. But credit to the Astros for being able to accomplish both in what is kind of the buildup to the regular season, which of course we know how busy that is. So this staff in this front office doing a lot of work to make Dyken Park the host of some big time events.
There's a lot going on here. You throw a golf tournament on top of that. Everybody gets spread really thin this time of year, but all these events are great. They're all fun to go to. And I've played winter ball in the Dominican Republic. I've played down in Puerto Rico. I've played in Japan, and it all feels a little bit different. And this World Baseball Classic, it kind of allows teams to take on that identity. Fans get to show up and cheer, the way that they do at a winter ball game, and man, it's going to be fun.
You're more well-traveled than I thought with some of those baseball experiences.
Baseball will take you some places.
It will let you see the world.
Especially when you're
3-2
always
pitch, line to short, and the throw back to first, not in time from Baldwin.
You're always looking for a job. You end up a lot of places.
Well, that's true. You are auditioning, right, when you're at winter ball or what was Japan?
That was playing in Japanese league. I played against
in the summer.
No, yeah, regular season.
Okay.
Yeah, NPB. I played against Ohtani's last year. He was the MVP of the league that year.
Kind of learning things as we go here in this third inning.
I was on Ohtani before anybody knew about Ohtani.
Okay, you knew then. You had an idea.
Except the entire country of Japan. Most of
but obviously they have good players. But you could watch him play and say this guy is a cut above or a different tier of player.
He was physically different than most players over there. I mean,
still is.
He's a huge guy for Major League Baseball standards. He's an enormous guy by Japanese baseball standards. But physical tools are apparent in any setting, high school, college, professional, whatever. And when you've got a guy that big who can hit a ball that far, throw the ball that hard, it translates.
Yeah, no doubt. Quick mound visit after the line out to short. Trace Mazan will bat. Reached on an infield single in the first. I've done a couple of MLB Network dugout reporting gigs at Dodger Stadium each of the last 2 years. So you're seated basically right next to Dave Roberts with a railing. and there's a camera well in front of me, or there's a well where Ohtani will come and look at an iPad of the pitcher right before he bats. So I'm like leaning over his shoulder. I could just tap him, and I'm watching what he does, and he's speaking in English. But it's fascinating to watch him right before he goes to the on-deck circle into the plate. There's a smash to third. Arquette's got it. Flips to second for an out. Back to first. Double play. Roadrunners go around the horn, ending this third inning. And just 3 bats. Big time hop. Nice play from Arquette. Roadrunners have a 6-run lead through 3 innings.
To test the toughness of the Kia Sorento X-Pro and the Kia Sorento Turbo Hybrid, we recreated some of the wettest springs, hottest summers, windiest falls, and coldest winters to prove these 3-row SUVs were built for the unstoppable. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the purchase of a new 2026 Sorento.
Vacationing is an art, and the Palm Beaches are your canvas. Stroll along sun-soaked beaches, unwind at boutique resorts, explore hidden and not so hidden gems. Here you'll discover a lifestyle that's nothing short of a masterpiece. Curate your perfect collection of experiences in the Palm Beaches.
7-1, UTSA leads as they bat here in the top of the 4th inning. We've got a little bit of everything here in the first 3.
We've seen offense. We've seen some good plays on defense. We've seen a grand slam. We've learned a lot about batting gloves, too.
Yes, there's no doubt. Here at the Bruce Bowl College Classic. Cade Miller, the only man who didn't hit for the Roadrunners in the 3rd, will start the 4th with a ball to the gap. He's going to try for 2. A good throw might get him. It's a bit high, but it's going to be in time. Miller erased. Good toss from Mijos into Barango to cut down a potential double for UTSA.
Those are the kind of plays that Pat Hallmark can live with from his offense, especially when you're in a situation where you've got a little bit of a lead, but they are always going to err on the side of aggression. And it took a great throw, and it took a good tag to make that a bang-bang play.
That was close.
The more you make defenses make those types of plays, more often than not, you're going to be safe. It's a tough thing to do, to cut a ball off in the gap, make a perfect throw, get the tag down. There's a lot that can go in your favor.
I would agree. Detlefson has singled twice, scored a couple of runs, and takes a strike. Sometimes I feel like when you're an outfielder here and you've not played at Dyken Park a lot, you're worried about the walls and the pillars and the Crawford boxes and the edge of the bullpens. And maybe at times you might not be completely concentrating on exactly where you want to play or the throws you need to make. And there's a big chopper to short. Barango showed off the arm, and Thorndike kept his toe in the bag, and there's 2 outs.
It's a heck of a play right there. Barango had a long way to go, had a high hop that he had to deal with, and had to make a quick exchange and get rid of that ball in order to get the out at first.
You weren't kidding about that high hop. In fact, he had to leave his feet to go up and glove it, and then that takes you a little bit off your throwing rhythm.
Well, and you've got a lot of baseball being played on this field. You're starting to get late in the day. It's the field's drying out a little bit. All of a sudden the infield starts to get hard, and those hops, it gets a little choppy.
Barango had 17 starts at shortstop a year ago, but I would imagine he'll play a bulk of the time there this season. And Appelman has gotten a couple of outs, facing Hayworth, who had a 2-run homer in the 1st. He walked and scored in the grand slam in the 3rd from Josh Arquette. This is a UTSA team. They've won 38 or more games in 3 of the last 4 seasons. We got another PitchCom device issue.
We had a discussion in the first game today when there were some PitchCom issues about a novel idea in a way that we could relay signs from the catcher.
Old-fashioned way.
We could relay pitches. Yeah, you've heard of that?
It feels kind of antiquated.
We've had 3 times where we've worried about microphones and hats. We could just.
I mean, somebody has to carry around.
Number one will still get you a fastball.
Especially with nobody on base. Yeah, you're right. Someone has to carry these devices around and plug them in and power them in, and someone forgets, and then they run out of juice. Lifted down the line and left towards the seats, and it'll hit off the base of the fence in play in foul ground. Would you be a watch guy if you were on the mound? And obviously you were a two-way guy. Would you prefer the watch or the device in your head talking to you, your hat?
Probably the device in the hat. Oftentimes when I see guys with the watch on the glove hand, I don't know that I'd be able to pitch with that on.
Feels like it's just one more thing, maybe to kind of just throw you off a bit.
And it has absolutely, no bearing on how you do, but I just know that as soon as somebody got a hit off me, I'd blame the watch and throw a temper tantrum.
It would be the watch's fault. Truth to that. 2-2 to Hayworth. Appleman from the full windup and misses badly outside. I mean, you wouldn't play basketball with a watch on. That would feel weird. I think it would feel weird to pitch with one. Once you get old like me, you need the reading glasses. It would just add another element of disaster to it. Hard hit back to the mound. Speared by Appleman. He'll run 2/3 of the way to first to get that final out. Roadrunners get a hit, but just 3 bad. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's been all UTSA to this point.
Home to Dyken Park.
And that ball is gone! Aaron Smith. Walker Winston and the Astros win it in a walk-off.
It's back. Yep, baseball is back, and it's time to warm up with spring training on Space City Home Network.
Swing and a miss.
Time to get back in sync with all your favorite players and get to know the new guys too.
What's up, Sean?
Yep, see it all come together. Astros Spring Training is on Space City Home Network. Presented by Whataburger.
Hey, H-Town, I've been waiting for it, you've been waiting for it, and now it's here.
They finally climbed that hill!
Catch your Rockets and Astros games for just $19.99 per month, or sign up all year for $199.99. That's $40 in savings.
Forget about it!
No cable, no satellite, no contracts. Just download the app and watch your teams.
Stream your teams direct with Space City Home Network Plus. Download today at SCHNplus.com.
Hey, you can see Brooks Koepka, Ricky Fowler, the reigning champion Minwoo Lee, and Texas alum Pearson Coody at the 2026 Texas Children's Houston Open, Houston's premier PGA Tour event. It returns to Memorial Park Golf Course from March 26th through the 29th. Tickets are available now at tchouopen.com/tickets. March 26th through the 29th. Coastal batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rex Watson fouls one away. Facing Kendall Dove, who's navigated 3 innings and 46 pitches. Not a ton more strikes than balls, but he got a double play to win last inning. Facing the heart of the lineup for the 2nd time. Left that pitch up, and it was spanked to center, but Hallmark got a late break and then comes in, dives, and makes the catch. He added a degree of difficulty on that play.
That's a tough play for a center fielder, that kind of head-high line drive right at you. You don't have the depth perception to really gauge if it's going to be in front of you or behind you, where you need to go. So you see Christian Hallmark, he froze a little bit trying to judge what he needed to do.
Would that sunshine shadows contrast have caused him any fits at all on that?
Maybe a little bit. They're coming out of the shadows into the sun and then back into the shadows. But really, you're just trying to figure out if you need to go in or back because you don't know how hard the ball's hit.
This is going to be a play for Hayworth in right off the bat of Walker Mitchell, and a couple of outs in the bottom of the 4th inning.
You can see since UTSA got the big swing in the 3rd inning and busted the game open a little bit, Kendall Dove really trying to get more into the strike zone. I think that was probably some of the conversation that was had at the mound with a mound visit last year was, hey, we've got to lead, start throwing strikes, lean on the defense. We've seen some great plays in the infield since, a couple nice plays in the outfield. Go fill up the strike zone and let your guys go get it.
I think that's good advice. Blake Barthol flew out to right his only time in. Is there a more challenging outfield to play when you haven't played in this park than Dyken Park? I know Wrigley's not fun because you got ivy and brick walls.
But that only really comes into play in one instance, right? That's when you're going back into the wall. That will make a difference. The nooks and crannies here in the big center field, the short left field, the well out in left center that you have to navigate, the very little foul territory down the lines. There's just a lot of things that you have to experience to understand, and I know you can go out there in batting practice and try to get a feel for it, but it's just not the same.
I think that's well said. You have to experience it. We had some experiences here this inning. 3 lineouts or flyouts. The shots go in order. We've completed 4 in the middle game of the Bruce Bolt College Classic.
Hi, Alice. I'm here for
your new prescription. Your refill. Indigestion again. Aisle 3. Joint support. Aisle 6. Uh-oh. Aisle 5. Vitamin C. Aisle 7. Let me call your doctor. Your insurance. Your grandkids are growing like weeds. Snacks are on aisle 9.
Go ahead. See you next time, Alice.
I'll see you.
A fuller life deserves fuller care. That's the human kind of help. Walgreens.
What do you know about this baseball? Where samurai swing bats. Here, teammates become opponents. Anyone can be a superhero. And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball, with nothing held back. Expect everything.
What a beautiful day for outdoor baseball here in downtown Houston. Middle game of this day 2 of the Bruce Bolt College Classic. UTSA and Coastal, 2 teams that had amazing runs last season. Pretty much been all road runners today. They had 3 runs in the first, 2 and a homer from Hayworth. Grand slam from Arquette, who's on deck here in the 5th. First it's Stuckey, who singled in that 3rd inning. So Appleman back to the mound. He came on to get the final out in the 3rd inning.
He's done a nice job since he's been in. Appleman has got a good sinker. He's kept the ball on the ground for the most part. Got out of that early jam that he came into and had a quick 4th inning.
Good look at Stuckey from Tucson, Arizona. Canyon del Oro High School, Pima Junior College. Played in 52 games a year ago, 42 starts. Really good on base percentage. He's going to get on base again. Another base hit. Singling between Mitchell and Barango. to begin the 5th inning.
It's a nice swing there from Stuckey.
Brian, how about this swing from Josh Arquette in the 3rd inning?
Well, they had Ross Norman on the ropes, and they had some traffic on the bases, and they're waiting for the big swing, and Josh Arquette gets himself a good pitch up in the zone, something that you can elevate. The wind's blowing out. There's a lot of good things that can happen. And it's a confident swing and a really good approach and executing it at bat, getting your pitch that you want to drive.
I'm talking about a kid from Kingwood, Texas, so I got a feeling he was floating around the base.
Sure, he's laid in bed many nights thinking about hitting the ball out of this stadium.
Maybe a cross-up. Tazi didn't catch it cleanly, and Stuckey will cruise down to second base.
It's a changeup that was pretty much down the middle, but it looked like Tazi was waiting for it to break.
Arquette had 10 homers a year ago in the junior college ranks. The grand slam was his 2nd home run this season. He has a chance to drive it another. Big swing fouled at the plate. Roadrunners have outhit the Chanticleers 10-2. They've outscored them 7-1. Pretty good pitch over the outside corner. Arquette down looking, and the K is the first out of this inning.
Nice fastball at the bottom of the zone from Appleman. A lot of times you talk about ride on a fastball, the ball jumping through the zone a little bit. You think about that being at the top of the zone, beating a bat at the top of the zone, but you can do the same thing at the bottom and have a pitch that looks like it's going to drop below, and it just kind of planes out for a strike.
Pitch in for a strike to Christian Hallmark. Seen him make a diving catch in center already. Certainly a really good start to his campaign. He's going to try to get on with the bunt. The throw to first is going to get him to that ball. Hit Hallmark in the box. Our first base umpire Ron Teague quickly jumped out and said something to the Chanticleers dugout. So not sure if maybe did he hit the ball twice or did it hit him?
I think there was contact with him in the batter's box. Looks like Hallmark kind of paused for just a second.
Oh, it did hit that bat the second time.
He saw it and he reacted initially, but also knew that his best chance is to just run it out and let the umpires sort it out.
Hallmark fouls one at the plate. Came in with an OPS over 1,300, had a grand slam against UIC. Playing for Dad.
He very much fits the mold of the kind of player that his dad is looking for too. He shoots the ball all over the field. He plays good defense. He can run. He's aggressive. He'll lay down a bunt. Just can beat you a lot of different ways.
He's got some energy to him as well.
Very much so. He's never standing still. You watch him in the batter's box. You watch him when he's out in center field. He's always moving. He's, you know, almost fidgety out there, like he can't wait to get out of the box.
I think you're right. The 1-2 is a little bit high. And, you know, his dad was asked about playing here at Dyken Park, and I'm guessing he kind of speaks for son, but Coach Hallmark said, listen, I'm 52. I'm from Houston. I'm excited about coming to that ballpark. I know my players are as well. Really excited to be here and have this opportunity. The 2-2 is softly flared. Fair down the line and right. Hallmark kept it inside the chalk. Stuckey will score the 8th run. There's a little bit of that energy, and the birds are flying, and it's an 8-1 UTSA advantage.
Very much a Christian Hallmark type at bat right there. Tried to lay down the bunt early, ends up fouling it off, fouls off some more pitches, works the count back into his favor, fighting with 2 strikes, and then just flips one down the right field line. And of course, busting it for 2 out of the box and no real chance for a play there.
So the Roadrunners keep tacking on. In all, there's 8 Roadrunners that come from the greater Houston area. That's Katy, that's Spring, that's New Caney. Obviously, Hallmark has a lot of Houston ties, even though his dad now is starting to rack up the years in San Antonio. Krul is 0 for 2. You see the 2 strikeouts. He'd like to pick up an RBI and a base hit, add to this 8-1 UTSA advantage. And I know, again, probably worth repeating for Coastal that this is not the way they wanted things to shake out with their rotation, losing 2 top-tier guys on a Friday and a Saturday, and what that means as far as maybe Fluky being one of the best, if not the best in the country, and All-Americans. Because a year ago, Brian, they were the 2nd best team earned run average in all of college baseball at 3.2.
Well, and it's not just the starting rotation. Obviously, they were supposed to be really good there and have been injured. They're also supposed to have one of the best bullpens in the country. Their 2 best guys are hurt there, and you know that everybody ticks up a little bit and on the depth chart, and you got guys throwing on the weekend that maybe wouldn't be.
That one laced to left. It's going to be up off the Crawford boxes, off the bat of Krul. Hallmark with his speed will easily score. Krul will think about going to third. That was a Dyken Park bounce. Once it hit the Crawford boxes, it rolled about 100 feet back to the infield. And Krul had a thought of trying to get 3 bases, but another run for UTSA.
Well, this UTSA offense is just feeling it right now. Pretty much anything they do is working out in their favor. They're hitting off-speed pitches. They're jumping all over fastballs, showing the speed game, showing the power game. It's a dynamic offense, and much as was the case the first couple weeks of the season, it seems to be clicking for everybody.
You know, Brian, that play right there is one that I talk to coaches about occasionally that haven't played here. When there's a low line drive hit to left field, your shortstop needs to be involved. He almost has to track that ball to play that carom.
It's a very unique situation, and there's 2 scenarios here in Dyken Park where the shortstop has to follow the ball out into the outfield. One of them is that hard line drive off of the out-of-town scoreboard that'll bounce back. The other one is the ball down the third baseline. When it catches that carom off of the cutout, it'll come back.
That's right.
Shortstop will be the closest player to that ball as well, and if you're going to try to keep somebody on first base, it's going to be the shortstop. It's a hard thing to teach because it's just not natural to do.
Yeah, you almost have to see it, and once you've seen it, it's too late if you're coming in as a visitor. Diego Diaz will take a strike. He's tripled and dropped on a bunt single.
And again, repetition will kind of beat that into you, because if you watch the Astros play, ball goes down the third base line. Jeremy Pena will be on a dead sprint to that spot at the cutout, trying to hold the runner to just a single.
And sometimes I think when you talk about extra bases in this ballpark, that's where it comes into play, because with all the unique characteristics of playing in the outfield, it's really hard at times on a sharp single to left or right to score from second base, because those outfielders might be a little more shallow.
It's the give and take, and you have to find ways to counter that. And if you're a team, you know, that playing in here for the first time, you don't know that. You have to be a little bit more aggressive with your secondary leads at second base, because that hard hit, sharp ground ball between the third baseman and the shortstop, all of a sudden the left fielder is going to be on top of that. That's not an automatic send right there, so you've got to find ways to counter.
100% agree. That's ball 4 inside to Diaz, and the inning continues. And UTSA got a 3-run inning, a 4-run inning. They've scored 2 this frame, and a chance to keep right on going. Jordan Baldwin, the shortstop, is 0 for 2. Batting in the 9 hole for the Roadrunners. Caden Miller on deck. That's not much of a strike zone right there for Ball. I mean, that's
compact.
That looks shorter than even Altuve, doesn't it?
He's not a huge guy, but he's also pretty crouched down. A lot of times smaller guys, they'll get real tall trying to create some leverage, but he's really in his legs.
Freddie Patek was before your time at Kansas City, but if you want to drop that one on the Google at some point, you can take a peek. But yeah, that's not much of a strike zone. Remember, I told you a year ago he walked 41 times and only struck out 20, and that was an on-base percentage of .541. 4th best on base percentage in the country. Content to take that strike. When I hear that, it makes me wonder, well, what were the top 3 on base percentages? Couple of runners on base, 2 runs home, only 1 out so far, and that one's lifted in the air, left center field. Mijos, though, will glide back, run that ball down for out number 2. The runners hold. Turns this lineup over for Caden Miller. Got a couple of hits and 3 at bats. Yesterday, the Roadrunners had a 6-5 win over Ohio State. They're trying to get even more separation and cruise to a win here today.
Very different stories offensively for UTSA yesterday to today. Yesterday, it took them a while to get going. They kind of broke out in the late innings. You saw a more representative version of themselves, but it's been from pitch 1 today. They've been aggressive swinging. They've been aggressive running the bases. There's a lot of energy coming out of that dugout. It's a very, very confident team.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun today. Pitches downstairs.
Something that I noticed yesterday, they're down early to Ohio State and really didn't have a whole lot going, but there was never any panic. They never looked like they were trying to do anything differently. It was just a team that kind of knows they're good and was just waiting for the good to show up, and it did.
Yeah, that's a fun observation. And obviously this team had a lot of success last year, but that was last year and this is this year, and you start to build with some returners and then soon some newcomers, and then playing on this stage as well. 2-1 to Miller. It's in there for a strike. Coach Hallmark was asked about how this event came about, and he said, you know, we're in the Super Regionals. I get an email and it says, do you have the weekend open? They didn't, but he changed the schedule in order to accommodate this opportunity. Poked out to left, back goes Taylor at the wall, leaping up, but he can't make the play. And this is going to chase home 2 more runs. Caden Miller with his 3rd hit of the game, and it's all Roadrunners.
It is one of those days for Coastal Carolina. The ball's hit pretty well by Caden Miller, but you know, under normal circumstances,
that's an out.
Jordan Taylor has enough room to run underneath that ball. He finds himself at the wall, though, trying to jump up and make a play, just runs out of real estate, and it's about 6 inches over his glove. And you know, the merry-go-round continues for the Roadrunners.
You know, sometimes we could be talking about the challenges of playing this outfield, and there's somebody sitting at home thinking, what are these idiots talking about, right? It's a ballpark. And then all of a sudden we could talk about it and have 4 different plays in which they've been a variety of challenges, whether it's dealing with the short fence, the wind that pushes the ball to the fence, the caroms, and all that comes with Dyken Park.
And it's something that you don't really get a lot of in college baseball. There's not a lot of stadiums that have uniqueness to their outfield. It's more common in major league stadiums, and this one kind of being to the extreme.
And it's 11-1. Would imagine we're playing in run rule situations here at the Bruce Bowl College Classic, but there's still quite a bit of baseball left. Only here in the top of the 5th. It's a wave and a miss by Detlefson. He's had a couple of base hits as well. 13 hits for UTSA. That's ripped to left. This one's going to fly off the bricks, and it's out of here again. The Roadrunners are taking dead aim at some long balls here in downtown Houston. And Detlefson just an absolute laser. And UTSA has scored a baker's dozen.
There are some cheapies into those Crawford boxes. That one was a laser over the Crawford boxes. Detlefson got every bit of that pitch. You could have hit it out of just about any stadium with that swing. That was,
well, you weren't kidding.
That was a thing of beauty.
It was out of there in a blink of an eye. You know, there's been a couple of pitchers today for Coastal in which the Chanticleers just wanted them to give a little bit of length as far as innings and outs. This has not been a great deal of fun. Going to make a pitching change. We'll step aside and come back with a new hurler. A 13-1 Roadrunner lead.
I went to work. I wasn't sick, Keith. I was just Keith.
Nobody's purpose in life is to be a cancer patient. Many of those patients want to continue to work to maintain that sense of normalcy and empowerment.
It's something that every individual has to decide for themselves.
Work was a way that I could still feel like myself.
Getting out of bed, giving a fighting chance is all we got.
We can make work a better place for healing.
You ready to play Mahjong?
And catch up on all our health problems. Seriously, I had no idea that I would be seeing so many specialists, and nobody's on the same page. Keeping track of it, it's a full-time job.
Trust me, I'd be lost without Kelsey Siebold for seniors. With Kelsey, I have some of the best doctors in Houston coordinating my care for me. It's awesome.
So I'm doing it.
All wrong, yeah.
If you Kelsey, you know. Experience the Kelsey difference yourself.
Made from scratch food, check. A front row view of the game, check. Houston's best wings, double check. It's Big City Wings, Houston's famous wing joint, where it's always made fresh, always from scratch, and always a good time. With locations all over Houston, pop in today. Watch the game and enjoy one of our daily specials. Because people who know about great food and the best wings know it's all about Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, and the place you've been looking for.
All Roadrunners, 13-1. Colby Richardson, a freshman from Mullins, South Carolina, comes on to pitch. He's appeared in 3 games this season, 5 1/3 innings, given up 6 runs.
Young left-handed pitcher, fastball around 90 miles an hour, got a little bit of arm side run. He's got good feel for a breaking ball, but he's in a tough spot here. He's going to have to eat up some innings. He's going to have to get some outs, and he's facing an offense that smells blood in the water. These guys are up there swinging it and hitting laser beams all over the place.
This is Hayworth, who had a 2-run homer in the first. Of course, he had a home run yesterday, so he has 2 bombs, and they both come here in Houston. Part of a 2-for-3 game. So he's had the 2-run homer. Arquette had the grand slam. And then Detlefson with a 2-run bomb as well. Run rule is 10 runs after 7, but again, we're only in the top of the 5th, and the Roadrunners are the visiting team. Every Roadrunner except Jordan Baldwin has scored at least 1 run. 8 of the 9. We're in the top of the 5th. We talked about this UTSA offense. Again, their first 6 games, they had 10 runs or more. The last 3, they were below that double-figure plateau. Well, they have surged past it, and they have no signs of curtailing this effort today. Remember, there was that fly ball. Miller hit it to left field where Taylor was there and camped out. He just ran out of room, and the ball hit off the fence above his leap. And since then, they've just kept on adding runs. Fastball for a strike over the outside corner. 92 in the gun.
It just kind of feels like things are piling up for Coastal Carolina, both in game and outside of the game. The injuries are piling up. It seems like everything is just a couple inches out of their reach defensively.
Well, a ground ball finds its way to center from Stuckey. On his way to third goes Hayworth. For Stuckey, that's 3 singles. He alone has more hits than the shots.
It's contagious, and it's not hitting that's contagious. It's confidence that's contagious, and a lot of guys swinging the bat well, a lot of guys seeing the ball well. You're not looking at a UTSA lineup that's expanding very much, not really chasing anything out of the zone, still taking their walks, even though everybody's up there ready to swing from pitch number 1.
Arquette had the grand slam in the 3rd. 2 more teammates on base, and the breaking ball rolls in for strike 1. It will be interesting to follow this UTSA team this year to see what they're going to be able to do from beginning to end. They're going to be back in Houston to take on Rice in early April. Going to play Baylor midweek. Have a couple of games where they'll be at Lubbock to take on Texas Tech coming up in about a week and a half. Trying to go to 9-1 with the win, though, this afternoon. 2-strike pitch. That's good enough for strike 3, and 11 men come to the plate in the 5th. 6 score. Roadrunners keep tacking on to the lead. There's a Bear and a Longhorn waiting for the 3rd game coming up later on tonight.
Reliant is the home of free electricity, so your home can be the home of epic bedtime stories. Beginning with the Flex Your Credits electricity plan, which gives you your 2 highest use days free every week automatically. And for a plot twist, you also get $200 in bill credits for even more savings. You could say we help put the happy and happily ever after. The Flex Your Credits electricity plan from Reliant, official energy provider of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
According to Car and Driver, the Honda CR-V does everything right. CR-V has massive cargo space, athletic performance, a refined interior with a huge back seat, affordability, and Honda's reputation for reliability. Maybe that's why the Honda CR-V's made the Car and Driver 10 Best list 4 years in a row. Right now, well-qualified buyers can lease the Honda CR-V starting at just $279 a month. Honda, proud partner of Team USA.
Back inside Dyken Park as this game moves into the bottom of the 5th inning. Right, it looks like there's room for more pennants out there.
Strategically left some space for a couple more.
Makes sense. Hey, that train was in play last night. You weren't in the booth when the Texas Longhorn slugger Aiden Robbins hit it.
That's a long way out there.
That is 466 feet at 112 off the bat stretches.
See the ball get up on the tracks occasionally, but usually it's straightaway left field,
yes.
Maybe in the well. That's almost out in center field.
Pato hit by a pitch. Pinch hitting for Taylor.
I thought it was a long way to go to put it up on that pump out there in left center field.
Yeah, I would agree.
Another 100 feet further.
I mean, I guess on bombing missions, you take out transportation first. Well, he was trying to take out the train. Kind of rattled around. I was worried about Bobby Dynamite out there. I was worried that maybe he was.
Take cover.
Yeah. He was in play. This is Thorndike. He flew out to center in his only at bat. So you've got a couple of guys for UTSA that have come to the plate 4 times. In fact, Miller has scored a couple of runs. Detlefson has scored 3 and knocked in 4. And here's Thorndike batting for just the 2nd time in this game.
Those kind of games are so tough when you get down big early and it feels like there's so much action and the game is happening, yet you're not really a part of it. It's hard to stay focused and locked in mentally because these at-bats are going to count for your numbers just the same as any other.
Dove has been in there throughout. Give up a run in the 1st. In fact, after 2 batters. Coastal had a run and there was nobody out. He had a perfect second, had a perfect fourth, faced just 3 batters in the third. Pitch count is still low, 55.
He's done exactly what you want a pitcher to do when the offense spots him a lead, and that's get in the strike zone. He hasn't walked anybody. He's got a couple of hit by pitches, but go out there, fill up the zone. If they want to swing, let them swing. Defense work behind you. The defense has made some nice plays, but be efficient with your pitches. Go deeper into the game, and you've got the lead, so use it.
Ripped down the line in right, and that is into the corner. A fair ball. Thorndike will have extra bases. Pato to third. He'll slam on the brakes. Coastal hasn't had many signs of life, but here they come, second and third, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning.
It's a nice swing right there by Thorndike, a guy who it's been a while since he's been in that batter's box the way this game has gone, but he gets himself a pitch that kind of gets yanked down and in and does a nice job keeping it fair, and all of a sudden Coastal Carolina has a chance to scratch a couple across and maybe just start feeling a little bit better about the way this game is going.
Tazi, the catcher, line to short, his only time in. Placed just a little bit off that outside corner. Tazi, one of the Pennsylvania natives on this Coastal team, and a superstitious type, wearing number 13. A year ago, he was a true freshman. Got into 49 games. Knocked down by Stuckey, able to push that ball back in front of him, out in front of the plate.
It's a nice job there by Stuckey, get his body around that pitch. If that's a glancing blow off the shoulder and rolls up the third base line, it's going to score a run. He got out around there, kind of made sure it went back out in front of the plate.
Two-one is hit hard to short. Going to be picked up though by Ballin, and his throw to first retires Tazi. Now Pato will score, and it's a 13-2 game.
It's good veteran play there by Ballin, not panicking. That ball was hit hard. He put his body on it, knocked it down, kind of stayed under control, picked it up with his bare hand. Trading out for a run in this situation for sure.
As hard as that ball was hit, I thought it might just kind of kick away and then roll, 14, 15 feet, and then you have no play. Pinch hitter for Coastal, Cruz Harlan. Down near the back foot, teal colored shoe for Harlan. He's had 3 at bats on the year, 0 for 3. He scored a run, knocked in a run. Hitting for the shortstop Barango. Centralia, Illinois native, John Logan College product. Tell you what, the last thing Dove wanted to do after getting it out was to be unable to find the strike zone.
Coastal's got a lot of runs to make up. You don't want to start doing them any favors and spotting them base runners. And it's not just about tonight. You got to start thinking about the next day or so and the rest of this game, and can you get through the game without having to burn up too much of the bullpen?
Time for a mound visit for the Roadrunners before this lineup gets turned over for the Chanticleers with Dean Mijos. 13-2 UTSA. Roadrunners got 3 in the top of the first. The shots got a run in the bottom of the frame. And then it was 10 unanswered before Coastal got a run this inning. Hey, lace up and join the fun. Astros race to the pennant presented by Houston Methodist is Houston's newest 5K and 10K set to start and end at Dyken Park on May the 2nd. Visit astros.com/race to register now. Pitching change. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 5th inning. New pitcher coming on for the Roadrunners.
For one momentous month, Houston comes alive to showcase its best. Family, friends, old and new, gather in the heart of Texas to celebrate the spirit of the West. The stadium lights blaze every night, casting shadows on cowboys and cowgirls whose courage shines bright. Here, livestock aren't just animals. They're champions, companions, and a testament to a way of life. From legends who have graced the star-studded stage to the students who have a trail to blaze, more than 90 years of legacy, heritage, and grit are woven in. Rodeo Houston is a part of the fabric of our souls within. The melodies will echo forever in our hearts. To the memories made and the dreams yet to come, long live the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Welcome to the show.
Born with power, tested by time. Texas is Ford Truck Month. Woo! And this is Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. Hop in and drive the Stampede.
Drive F-150 with 0 for 60, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash.
Ford is the best in Texas.
New pitcher of UTSA, Jake Qualia. See the 9 strikeouts and 1 walk. He inherits a couple of base runners in the bottom of the 5th inning and 1 out. Lubbock, Texas native. Lubbock Cooper High School product.
Freshman is a strike thrower. He's a guy who didn't walk many people in high school. He's come in and really had a feel for the zone, and somebody obviously that they trust in a game like this, a game where you need to go out there and just attack because you've got the lead. Go out there and fill it up and use that defense.
He's going to get the top of the lineup now for Coastal and Dean Mijos, who doubled in the first. Mijos was 1 for 3 a night ago, and what was an 8-1 loss to the Texas Longhorns. Came into this weekend leading his team in batting average. 5 multi-hit games. Now his hitting streak is up to 7 games. His teammate Thorndike's at second. Harlan at first. Pitch down and out, backhanded by Stuckey. You know, we like to say in sports, Brian, there are no moral victories. And I'm curious for you with Coastal, whether it's today or this weekend, if there's a few things you can put on your mantle. And there's a ground ball hit hard in the center for a base hit. Mijos will play another run. Thorndike will score. The throw to third, not in time. Going to second base is Mijos. So the shots maybe getting a few minor victories with some offense here in the 5th inning.
Well, absolutely. You know, first and foremost, they're here to win baseball games. That's what they do, and they've done it at a high level over the last few years. But they need to get this offense going, and if it comes at the end of a game like this where they push across a couple runs, if that can springboard into a more consistent offense here in the future, it'll be worthwhile. And a couple of good swings here in the last few batters.
And this is Mazan, who hit into a double play back in the 3rd. He came into this weekend with an 8-game hitting streak, and all of a sudden that's now 10 straight. He had one of their 3 hits yesterday and scored the lone run and had an infield base hit back in the first. Fouled that one off his front leg. So 10 unanswered runs by the Roadrunners, but now the Shots have put a couple of runs on the board in the 5th. Still only 1 out. That's a strike on the outside corner. Dove got a nice ovation when he came off when he was taken out, but I think you always want to finish strong. Bottom of the lineup caused some problems for him. He came out. Then a base hit produced a run, and a couple of Coastal runners in scoring position.
It really seemed like over the last couple of innings that Kendall Dove had settled in and was in a position to where he can maybe go into cruise control with the big lead and kind of use the defense behind him, but command got away from him a little bit this inning and had to turn it over to the bullpen.
Qualia trying to get a strikeout. Instead, that ball is lifted a mile in the air to left center field, and it is off the fence and in play. Going to chase home a couple of runs. Mazan with the 2-run double, and it's 13-5. Detlefs had to contend with that high fence in the bullpen. Let's see how far this one came from sneaking up on that walkway and being a home run.
That is the definition of a hanger. Just hits off that Bank of America sign, and you know we've beat it to death today, just the uniqueness of the outfield. But that's another thing you have to know. If it hits up on those signs up there, it's going to come off hard. So if you've got the left fielder going for the ball, maybe trying to make a play up against the wall, the center fielder backing up has to get a little bit deeper towards the infield, and they ended up where both of them were chasing the ball back towards second base.
Because that could have been a triple.
If it's a closer game, it probably is.
I think you're right. No need to make it out on the bases. Rex Watson bounces one up the middle. That nearly hit the base. Ball had to contend with the pillow. Made the play to get the second out as Mazan advances to third. When you have an infielder absolutely perfectly placed, the last thing the Roadrunners wanted to see was the ball hit that base and take a big springy carom.
Jordan Ballin just he sold out for that. A lot of guys would kind of pull up a little bit thinking, man, if this ball catches the base, it's going to hit me right in the teeth, but he was going to take it. He stayed down on it. I don't know that I would have.
Yes, I'm pro teeth, but I had that sense too. There's a pitch down and out to Walker Mitchell. Go for 2 in the game.
Sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you just got to take whatever happens. I've been there out in the outfield and the ball goes in the sun and you're waiting for it to come out, and if it comes out you have a chance to catch it. If not, you might take it off the forehead.
Not a comfortable feeling.
No.
Good pitch for a strike. Mitchell, the cleanup hitter, waiting on a 1-1 pitch. On the outside corner for a called strike. See this effort right on the outside corner, knee high.
It's a good job. Good job by Stuckey taking that pitch and just bringing it just back into the zone a little bit.
Big chopper to third. Arquette came in to get the bounce. His throw is a little bit high, and safe at first is Mitchell. I thought maybe Miller had applied the tag, or maybe Mitchell missed the base. Now you saw Miller walk over there and put the tag on him after the fact, just in case.
This is the second time that this throw on the run for Josh Arquette has sailed up the line, and this time just too far for Caden Miller to apply the tag. I think he went back thinking maybe the turn went towards second base and he might be able to get him.
So instead of this inning being over, it's now 13-6. So the Shots, who had no life whatsoever, just 2 runs in a couple of games, have put 5 on the board. And Barthol is the 9th man to hit this inning. Bounce it to first. Miller, like a hockey goalie, surrounded that one. And the inning ends. Chanticleer's put 5 on the board. This has been a long one as we head to the 6th.
Hey, H-Town, I've been waiting for it, you've been waiting for it, and now it's here.
They finally climbed that hill!
Catch your Rockets and Astros games for just $19.99 per month, or sign up all year for $199.99. That's $40 in savings.
Forget about it!
No cable, no satellite, no contracts. Just download the app and watch your teams.
Stream your teams direct with Space City Home Network Plus. Download today at schnplus.com.
The excitement, the emotion, the passion, epic highlights, inspirational stories, unrivaled coverage. This is H-Town High School Sports with Todd Freed.
See it all right here on Space City Home Network.
We've had plenty of baseball. Just 5 innings complete, on our way to the 6th. Richardson back to the mound. Had a couple of pinch hitters for the Chanticleers in the bottom of the 5th, part of a 5-run inning. Both have stayed on defensively. Pato in left, Harlan in short. When this was 13-1, it looked like this was all UTSA. I know the Chanticleers would love maybe a 0 this frame to see if they might be able to have another big frame in the bottom of the 6th inning.
You get that shutdown inning after a big one and back into the dugout, push across another couple runs, all of a sudden some pressure turns onto the UTSA pitching staff.
Well, that bunt is in no man's land, and Hallmark's going to have a hit. Remember, he tried to bunt for a hit and then the ball hit the bat twice last inning and he ended up doubling, so he'll put this one down, and he couldn't have rolled it out there any better.
He put it right in that spot. You've got the pitcher, the first baseman, second baseman all chasing it, and none of them have any chance.
That was a race that Richardson was not going to win from the mound. Garrett Gruhl had a couple of hits yesterday. Well, he doubled in a run and scored back in the 5th inning. By the way, in that 5th inning, Brian, we had 11 runs, and it feels like we had 11 runs.
Felt every one of them.
Wave and a miss by Gruhl.
That 5th inning was so long, there were no UT fans here when it started.
And they're filling up now. Waiting to take on Baylor for the nightcap. $16 hits now, though, for the Roadrunners. It's a wave and a miss.
You know, there's still opportunities to do things in a game like this, and you know, of course, you're still thinking about scoring enough runs to get yourself back in it if you're Coastal. But for a guy like Colby Richardson, he's out there because he's trying to fill some innings. But he's in a spot in the lineup now where he's going to see a bunch of left-handed hitters and see if he can be an effective lefty option out of the pen.
I think you're right. A couple of things. Can you get some lefties out? And can you get a few righties as well? Can you get a little length to an outing?
It's the quickest way to find yourself innings is to first of all find a little niche. If you can be the lefty matchup guy, that's great. If you can do that and maybe, you know, mix in a changeup and get a ball on the ground against some right-handed hitters, now all of a sudden you're a multi-inning option out of the bullpen.
Here's a 3-2 and a payoff to Gruhl, and that's not close. That's ball 4. There's not much relent or quit in this UTSA offense right now.
No, and you can see that it's been instilled in them that it doesn't matter what the score is. We play our game. They're always looking to take another base. They're always looking for an opportunity to lay down a bunt, and it's not one of those things that you can turn on. You can't turn on that mindset, which means you have to do it all the time.
Pedal down. Diego Diaz in. He was squaring to bunt in a 13-6 game. He's bunted for a hit, he's tripled, and he's walked.
And part of that is still playing your game. If you're at UTSA, that's what they do. But part of that is respectful for Coastal Carolina, knowing that I don't feel like that team's completely out of this game.
No, I think you're onto something. Certainly after that 5-run bottom of the 5th inning. Gives you a little bit of pause. You go from thinking about the run rule to thinking, do we have enough? Long pause for the lefty before the 1-1 pitch. Tazi's been busy behind the plate today. Richardson has thrown more pitches out of the zone than in the zone, I believe. And Tazi's been back there now working with 3 different shot to clear pitchers. Off the fingers, fouled softly over the screen into the seats.
It's a tough place to be as a lefty, seeing some breaking balls away, really trying to hang in there, trying to see something up over the plate, and then when you see it, it's a 2-seam fastball that shoots back onto your hands.
Lucky he didn't get it off his fingers. Pick to second base. Hallmark bouncing around. He got such a big bounce. He was in no man's land, and whether he should just go or. The one thing we've seen about these pitchers today collectively, when they come set, they're in no hurry.
No, they're out there. They're trying to use the clock to their favor, which is kind of get everybody on offense a little bit stagnant, whether it's base runners or hitters.
3 infielders on the right side of the diamond, and Diaz shoots another one foul to his left. Nobody out this inning. Couple of runners on base for UTSA. And that pitch is cut at a miss. So Richardson wins the battle, gets the K, first out of the inning. Here's the shortstop, Jordan Bolden. He's 0 for 3. Now he is the only Roadrunner who has not been on base and the only Roadrunner who's not scored. So I'm talking about this young man having the 4th best on base percentage in the country. He's the only guy in a 13-6 game who has not been on base or scored.
It's only one conclusion that we can draw, and that's it's your fault.
It's a weird game is where I was going, but it could be my fault. If I'll take it, I'll wear it. I mean, we're constantly accused of either talking things into existence or jinxing individuals. I do feel like I talk things into existence from time to time, maybe more so than the actual jinx. It's free throw shooters in basketball oftentimes where you can maybe throw in a jinx.
You can just feel it.
Yeah, you know you're in that, the best free throw shooters in that conference clank, you almost have to wait till it goes in before you throw that in there, or wait till they make 2. Pitch timer at 2. Meanwhile, when that one was delivered in to Jordan Bolden.
You know, one thing that the pitch timer can do outside of the pitcher-hitter relationship, it can give a base runner a timing mechanism. You know when the pitcher has to deliver. So if he's holding, all of a sudden you see 3-2-1, you can maybe jump it a second or so early.
No, it's a good point. I think a couple of times he has pitched with 2 or 3. Is there ever the fear that you're kind of freezing your own guys behind you defensively?
Maybe, you know, you're trying to get into a rhythm as a fielder also, and everybody's trying to just feel that natural rhythm of the game and set, go, set, go, set, go.
Pitch is delivered with 2. Good enough for a strike over the inside corner to Bolden.
You know, for so long, what base runners did when they were out there trying to time up the pitcher is you kind of see him come set. You say set, 1, 2, pitch, or whatever his rhythm is, trying to time him up. Well, you have an actual visual aid timing him up in front of you if you're a base runner now.
Payoff pitch, a chopper up the middle. Maybe a chance for Harlan to step on the base and flip to first to get the double play. So a couple of runners on with nobody out, but the Roadrunners do not score. So Richardson gets out of the inning, keeps this a 7-run game.
Talent and teamwork. Big thinking and bold action. When the right elements combine, something amazing happens. UT San Antonio brings a world-class academic health center and a top-tier research university together, creating a force for excellence in education, discovery, and care. Making bold ambitions real. Your ambition has a place, and it's here.
Born with power. Tested by time. Texas is Ford Truck Month. Woo! And this is Ford F-150, part of F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 49 years straight. Hop in and drive the Stampede.
Drive F-150 with 0 for 60, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days, plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash.
Ford is the best in Texas.
Brian, is that the camera where Yordan Alvarez takes cracks at way out there, right center field? That's deep.
There's only a couple guys that can get up there. He would be one of them.
Yeah, it's not for the average left-handed hitter, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this game is settled in or whether UTSA is still in command or whether Coastal has a chance here in the bottom of the 6th inning after a 5-run frame in the 5th and then putting up a 0 in the top of the 6th. But here we go with Pato, who came on to pinch hit last inning, was hit by a pitch and scored a run. Blagan Pato hits one hard on the ground to third. Scoop by Arquette. Throw is true across the diamond for a quick out.
You see a real concerted effort by Arquette there to make sure he got his whole body moving towards first base and really made a direct line on that throw. He's had a couple sail on him today.
This is Thorndike. He doubled down the right field line to kind of kickstart last inning. Been a slow start. He was 4 for 28 before that double. Shoots that one to the left side. Ball and into a dive from his knees. He's going to bounce one 3 or 4 times to first, and Thorndike will reach. Had Thorndike been in a regular defensive position, that would have been right to him, but he was back up the middle, and Thorndike will take the base hit.
Long way to go for Jordan Ballin to get back to what's pretty much straight up shortstop position, but he does a good job just knocking it down, trying to get enough on it to get it over there to first base, but just not enough on that throw.
Baldwin had a hard landing. He was trying to brace with those arms when he was trying to make that diving stop. Trying to get something on that throw. This is Tazi. Drove in a run with a bounce out back in the 5th. One thing about Coastal, and we've talked about maybe some of their pitching issues, which is probably going to be a storyline for quite some time, and an offense that has not clicked to the level where they were a year ago, even though the guys had a track record of success. But you're also talking about a catcher last year in Caden Bodine, who was a first-team All-American, a first-round pick. Brian, that was somebody that, you know, they had available to work with those incredible pitchers, part of the second best earned run average in the country. Now, obviously, Tazi's a good player as well, but, you know, that's always a transition when you have a catcher so involved, not just in his duties defensively, but an offensive weapon.
Well, there's so much that a catcher can do to impact the game when you have a guy who can really swing it. Obviously, that's a middle of the order bat that you lose, but a catcher, that's the position that affects the most other guys on the team. And it's somebody who can go out there and kind of hold the young pitcher's hand through an outing, or make sure that the right pitch is called, that have a feel for what's going on, read the swings of hitters, control the running game. Everything that goes on the field can be controlled by the catcher.
I would imagine Tazi worked with him as well a season ago, because you kind of get a feel of how they go about their business. That just eats up Baldwin. Instead of what would have been a double play, now Tazi's going to cruise to second base. No one there. That'll be a bad hop double, and there's runners at second and third.
You can only control what you can control, and there were some hard hit balls for Coastal early in this game that found gloves for outs, and a couple of hard hit balls here recently that have worked out for him. That ball from Tazi was smoked. Jordan Ballin trying to just get a body on it, keep it in the infield. Couldn't do it, and all of a sudden here's Coastal with another scoring opportunity.
We don't have the exit velo available. I'd be curious, and Cruz Harlan fouls one back, because you're thinking about these infielders, especially with a double play. You want a hard bounce and you want a high bounce. Well, he got a hard high bounce, and it was too hard and too high.
And it was an in-between bounce at that hard high bounce that you get on the long hop. That's an easy catch and feed to second base, but in between you're just hoping you can put a body on it.
Cruz Harlan will bounce one to the right side. This will produce a run. Diaz makes the play, but Thorndike home to score. And it's 13-7.
You're still in territory for UTSA where you're comfortable trading outs for runs, but at the same time for Coastal Carolina, just keep going out there and executing, keep moving runners when you have the opportunity, hit the ball hard, score those runners from third base, whether it be with the sac fly or the ground ball right there, and give yourself a puncher's chance at the end.
Here's Mijos. He's going to take a strike. And we started this conversation about moral victories when the inning was about over, and I guess I'll circle back to it now, even though there's 2 outs, because, you know, Coastal, this is a top 10 type team. You come here to win games, and should UTSA hold on, doesn't leave you with a great feeling. But at one point this was 13-1. Now it's 13-7, trying to find just a little something, maybe some momentum to carry over. And I will never get that reaction from Brian. So I'll just send the inning to break after another run comes across. 13-7 through 6 innings here in the Bruce Bowl College Classic.
The Whataburger Monterey Melt is back? You've got some nerve showing up here again, looking all delicious with your fresh all-beef patties, melty cheeses, grilled peppers and onions, and jalapeno ranch. When I want you, you're nowhere to be found. And now you're back? Aw, get in here. We just missed you, that's all. The Whataburger Monterey Melt is back and harder to resist than ever. Download the app. What a burger!
Life doesn't fit in a box, and neither should your coverage. At Higginbotham, we listen first, because every home, every business, and every person is different. From insurance to HR to financial solutions, we help protect what matters most, your people, your livelihood, and what you're building for the future. That's what it means to put people first. Higginbotham, insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
Every
shot's lively. Every shot means something. You know, really kind of got an energy that's different than a lot of the rest of the course.
There's so many people here, so it's a little bit more than a golf clap.
Well, you're right on top of the action, and it's gotten pretty loud coming through already.
It's nice to see how the professionals play the same holes that we've played. Truly a great experience. It's easily the best hole on the course.
Got a football game going on here, 13-7. As we head to the 7th inning. A couple of more field goals and these Chanticleers even this thing up. Hey, look at that Bruce Bolt setup. I'm not even sure what that is. He's got that thing wrapped around his neck, but he's got some batting gloves inside it. What do you want to bet?
Batting gloves, sliding pad, oven mitt.
He might have it all.
You got to have it all.
Mom and Dad had to get the plastic out for that expense. Back to the top of the lineup in Caden Miller, who's picked up 3 hits, scored a couple of runs, knocked in a pair of runs. Pitch high, 2-0. Richardson has been in there since the 5th inning. Roadrunner's got a couple of runners on base in the 6th without a single out being recorded, but it was a strikeout, a DP, and that was it. That's a liner, softly hit right to Harlan at short. He was just waiting for that one to descend, and there's 1 out.
Still been traffic on the bases, like you were saying, for UTSA, but they haven't cashed in the last inning or so. But they're not going to sit back. They're not going to rest. They're not going to think that this 6-run lead is enough. They're going to go out there and continue to try to be the aggressors offensively.
Just like it's what they do. As Detlefsen looks for his 4th hit, 3 for 4. He's had that batting helmet a little bit, hasn't he? That's out of the Craig Biggio era. I mean, if there was once a Roadrunner logo on that helmet, it has long since disappeared with pine tar and some muck.
I didn't know anybody was still using pine tar and everything. Everybody's got bat grips and all kind of stuff that they use.
I'm not sure
now.
if that's sludge on that helmet, whatever that is. I mean, you
got to go find some pine tar.
He's had that for a few years, and it's not been cleaned once. I mean, wait till he turns around. Look at the front of this helmet. I mean, is there a logo on there anywhere?
It's a thing of beauty. That's been worked on for a while.
That's been years in the making. Might feel like that weighs you down a bit when you're running to first base. He wanted to swing, held back. Was the pitch a strike? It was not. A little bit of chirping going from the Coastal dugout. Two balls, 2 strikes. That's a wave and a miss. And all of a sudden, Richardson is trying to settle in just a bit.
He has, and he's been able to change speeds pretty well. He's shown a decent fastball, but it's the breaking ball, kind of 2 different varieties of it. It's been a slider that's been in the low 80s that took a little bit off of that one, get it down 75, 76 miles an hour, and you can see Detlefsen way out in front.
It's almost an unhittable pitch. Hayworth has one of the 3 home runs hit by the Roadrunners today. His came back in the 1st. Again, at one point it was 13-1, now 13-7 UTSA. Roadrunners try to move to 9-1 on the year. UTSA will have the primetime game tomorrow night against Baylor. Wrap up this Bruce Bolt College Classic. You'll be with me for that one. Wrap things up.
I'll be here.
You may not leave. That
might
Sky
still be here.
In the air to center. Mijos underneath it. He'll make the catch and flips that ball up onto the concourse to a fan. Roadrunners won in order. Hey, we're going to stretch them out. 13-7 UTSA in front.
Kids, want to be a part of something big? Join the Astros Buddies Club, presented by HEB, the official kids club of the Houston Astros. Members 12 and under get 4 tickets to select Astros games, plus awesome gear, a drawstring bag, a widget hat, socks, shoe charms, and a cool lanyard. You'll also have chances to be a part of exclusive experiences like autograph sessions, clinics, parades, and more. All this for just $45. Sign up at astros.com/buddies and become part of the team today.
Hello, everyone. Your favorite pro, Jason Alexander, here, lighting it up on the Pro Show, where we're getting to hang with our favorite sporting celebrities. We've got stories with the Rocket, Roger Clemens, golf tips with Patrick Reed. We'll hit a couple of shots out of studio, hear our favorite celebrities' top 3, and don't forget about KOB, Coach Classics, Miss Dion, and get ready to be inspired with Austin and Friends. Plenty of Figure Fives on the way. So check your local listings right here on the Space City Home Network, and we'll see y'all on the first tee.
Hey, H-Town, I've been waiting for it, you've been waiting for it, and now it's here.
They finally climbed that hill!
Catch your Rockets and Astros games for just $19.99 per month, or sign up all year for $199.99. That's $40 in savings.
Forget about it!
No cable, no satellite, no contracts. Just download the app and watch your teams.
Stream your teams direct with Space City Home Network Plus. Download today at SCHNplus.com.
Fans having a good time on a beautiful day for a ball game, or 3 here at Dyken Park. This is game 5 of 9 this weekend, 2 of 3 on this Saturday. At one time this was all Roadrunners. Now it's 13-7 and the Chanticleers batting in the bottom of the 7th. Part of their lineup against Qualia. Only 2 pitchers have been used today for UTSA. Zahn has doubled in a couple of runs and part of a 2-for-3 afternoon. Swung on, fouled off the catcher Stuckey for strike 1. We had a long conversation with Coach Stahl back on Wednesday, and that's when some of the injury news had started to percolate. That went a little bit outside. You know, we still talk to him about his programming, you know, whether it's kind of their offensive style or. There's 2 things that stuck with me. Relentless consistency was what he pointed out. Not just consistency, relentless consistency. And he said the separator in our program and maybe in college baseball is attention to detail. And that one's popped up. Who wants it? Baldwin will make the call on the catch, and there's 1 out.
You know, there's little things that have to be done in the game that don't always show up in the box score, and they aren't really going to get you a whole lot of publicity or notoriety, but winning teams do it. And this probably goes back to, you know, Coastal's roots before they became essentially a national power, where they were kind of undermanned and had to do all these little things to be competitive. Well, now they have high-end talent, but they still demand the same attention to detail that they did, and what it's turned into is a team that can go out there and beat anybody in the country.
Yeah, I think that's where it gets exciting. You're talking about good players and a good system, and obviously a little bit shorthanded, and they're seeing some hitters though maybe kind of find their water level from recent years, kind of get back on track. As Watson takes one down and out. Watson 0 for 3. Trying to get a base hit, kickstart something here in the 7th, but it'll be interesting to follow Coastal going forward. And listen, this may not be a week-to-week thing if, you know, you're in the SEC world or the Big 12 or whatever the case may be from your college baseball. And that's cut and missed. But if indeed these optimistic health reports hold true and they start getting some guys back, and then you start to build towards the end of the regular season, the conference tournament, the regionals.
I'll tell you what, if this team gets fully healthy by, you know, call it the last month of the season, they're going to be very capable of going out there and winning a conference tournament, and they're going to get the benefit of the doubt if they're an at-large team because of what they've done historically. You're not going to want to see them in a regional if they are healthy.
I mean, you're healthy, Fluky, you're top end of that.
If they end up getting in and they haven't had the huge win total that you would expect and putting them in the host conversation, but you're going to have to see Cameron Fluky day 1 and you're the host team. That's a tough draw.
A real tough draw. Here's Walker Mitchell, who's 0 for 3. If you're not one of the 16 host sites, you go on the road, you're a 2 or 3 seed. There's not much difference in being a 2 or a 3 seed.
Tell you what, if Coastal doesn't put themselves back into the host conversation, which they very well might be right there where they've been the last few years. But if these injuries are too much, somebody's getting a raw deal with them in their regional if they're healthy.
Hallmark into a slide will make the catch. Now the ball kicked out, but Michael Durantis said the catch was made. He lost it on the exchange. Kid's got some juice to him. Hitting over. Sends this to the 8th. 13-7. Roadrunners in front.
According to Car and Driver, the Honda CR-V does everything right. CR-V has massive cargo space, athletic performance, a refined interior with a huge back seat, affordability, and Honda's reputation for reliability. Maybe that's why the Honda CR-V's made the Car and Driver 10 Best list 4 years in a row. Right now, well-qualified buyers can lease the Honda CR-V starting at just $279 a month. Honda, proud partner of Team USA.
There's a big deal going on at Whataburger, like the new Big Ranch Wrap. A crispy chicken strip, buttermilk ranch, cheese, and fresh veggies in a warm tortilla. Or go bigger with 5 premium Whata chicken bites. Or go bigger than big with our Bacon Cheese Whataburger Jr. with fresh 100% beef and melty cheese. Make it even bigger with fries and a drink for a little more. Now that's a big deal. The Whata deal, now at What a Burger. Download the app.
Well, we thought the bottom of the 7th was over. You saw the sliding catch from Hallmark and then the ball kicked loose. Crew went to replay, and they are going to say it is indeed an out. It felt like Hallmark was kind of popping up, trying to flip the ball from his glove to his hand. I felt like for a second, Brian, we were going into NFL rules where we were curious if he maintained contact to the ground and whether we were going to get a first down on that play. But this has been maybe several games within a game.
No, absolutely. And it came out, and both the offenses kind of looked like they were going to break out early. The UTSA offense certainly did. But then they had the big inning. They kind of separated themselves. But all of a sudden, Coastal's offense woke up really for the first time this season and got them back into the game. And these are two teams that have a lot of pride. They know that they're good teams, and nobody's going to lay down in this.
When you start talking about mid-major programs, and again, you can take that for what it's worth, but non-power programs. UTSA last year, they get to the Super Regional for the first time. Coastal Carolina plays for a national championship. When you do that, and you're not in the SEC, you're not in the Big 12, you play with a chip on your shoulder. And I don't know if that chip ever goes away, regardless of the personnel year to year.
No, absolutely. There's certainly a feeling if you're not in one of the power conferences, you always feel like you're kind of an outsider. Even if you have an extended run like Coastal has had, where you've won a national championship, where you've been in multiple trips to Omaha, but you still feel like you're going out there having to prove yourself constantly.
Do you guys feel that at Tulane at all? Obviously, you had some big-time players, but people said, hey, you're not LSU or you're not Ole Miss.
We're the #1 team in the country, and we feel like everybody was looking at us as you know, they're really not as good as everybody thinks.
And that chip, again, it doesn't go away. I mean, it's not something you put on your shoulder when you go to battle. It stays with you in almost everything you do.
No, because, you know, there are guys, to be honest, if you're ending up at one of the non-power conference schools, you were overlooked at one point in recruiting, and it's just something that really never leaves you, regardless of what stature you ascend to, either within that program or as an individual player.
We go to the 8th. Stuckey, Arquette, and Hallmark. 4, 5, and 6. Stuckey sends one out to rather deep left center field. Does he have enough? Yes, he does. Up off the bricks and gone. How about a 4-hit game and a home run for Andrew Stuckey. That's 4 home runs today for the Roadrunners.
Andrew Stuckey feeling it a little bit here. 3 hits coming into this at bat, but nothing really all that loud. Finally gets the ball elevated a little bit. This pitch is right down the middle, and when you're seeing it the way he is, not going to miss too many of those. That's a nice swing from the catcher.
This ball almost hit the 3,000 hit Craig Biggio decal. Might have. Do you get an extra point for that? I mean, he hit the train last night, hit a home run, and had one hit the Bidge decal. Arquette had a grand slam in the 3rd inning. It's 1 for 4 in the game. 1 for 4 is on a great deal of fun, but 1 for 4 with a grand slam feels a little bit better.
Start looking at the OPS RBI numbers versus your batting average number.
All right, speaking of grand slams and speaking of that Craig Biggio 3,000 hit logo, wasn't that pretty close to your walk-off slam? Or
it was out there.
Marmol?
It was more pump directed.
I thought it might be pump related. It's a big chopper into the shift. Right to short. Harlan's there, and there's 1 out. That wasn't any fun, was it, for a Chicago kid to walk off the Cubs with a grand slam?
Well, it was nice. There's very few Astros games that were on in Chicago, so it was nice to be able to do something good at a game when your friends and family are actually at home watching.
No, well said.
There weren't a whole lot of highlights in that season.
Makes you cling to those that are highlights a little bit harder. Christian Hallmark. Well, this kid's bunting for the 3rd time in a row, and he's extending for first, and he's going to be out. That was a good play by Tazi. He knew he had to get there quickly. Made the play for out number 2.
You know, any play that you're making when Christian Hallmark is going down the line is a do or die play. He gets out of the box so well. He's so fast and always running hard. So Tazi, he really had to just get out there, grab it, turn and throw. Really no time to set up, and makes a really nice play.
Element of surprise. Maybe the element of surprise is there because you're not thinking somebody's going to bunt 14-7 in the 8th inning, even though it seems like it's part of his DNA.
Yeah, at some point you're kind of thinking, all right, we've passed the point to where small ball is going to come into play, but if small ball is your game, it's your game, and you got to stick to it. There's no reason to go up there and feel like you're ever giving at bats away, and if you think your best chance of doing something is to lay down a bunt or to try to move a runner over or whatever it is, sometimes the game can be selfish.
Maybe you think Tazi's been behind the plate for 3 hours. He's not going to have the same spring in his step to bounce out there and make a play, but he did. Leadoff home run, but a couple of quick outs after that in the top of the 8th inning. Richardson is hoping he had strike 3.
He's liked it
to Gruhl.
The last couple pitches that he's thrown, he thought they got the corner, but umpire disagrees.
That one's poked to the right side. Barthol's there, a couple of feet on the outfield grass, makes the play, throws out Gruhl, ends the inning. But Stuckey added a home run in the top of the 8th. Got a real football score now, 14-7, Roadrunners in front.
There's a fire here. A drive to learn more, to be more, to reach for more. Boldly, we innovate with research that makes an impact on our world. Boldly, we excel, turning challenges into triumphs. Boldly, we believe in ourselves and in each other. Coastal Carolina University. Boldly, we reach.
2026 is already heating up, and we're giving you the ultimate head start. Get guaranteed access to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Secure the best seat locations in Daikin Park,
Enjoy 45% savings over single-game ticket prices. Plus, receive significant savings with your exclusive team store discount. And don't forget about your exclusive invite to season ticket holder experiences and events. Visit astros.com/season tickets for more information.
Once a year, a rhythm thunders across Texas. It can't be tamed. It can only be driven. Texas is Ford Truck Month. Let's ride. These trucks, they haul, tow, and conquer everything in their path. So hold on tight and drive the Stampede.
Drive Super Duty with 0 for 60, 0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days. Plus 1,000 truck month bonus cash.
Ford is the best in Texas.
We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. I think we got a new pitcher as we navigate into the bottom of the 8th inning. Nope, it's still Qualia. So for all these runs and all these base runners, UTSA has navigated this to this point with 2 pitchers.
Qualia came in. It was a little bit, took him a little bit to get his feet underneath him, but he settled in nicely. You know, when you have a game where you get out to a big lead early, obviously you want to do whatever you can do to hang on to that lead and get out of there with the victory. But you also start thinking about tomorrow and what kind of shape can we leave ourselves in to go play game 3 of this series. And Qualia's done a nice job eating up some innings and now pitching into the 8th.
UTSA again will have the primetime game against Baylor tomorrow. That'll be a 6 p.m. start, we hope. I hate to predict that far in advance. Usually there's one of these first 2 games that sets that nightcap back a little bit. And again, we started at 8 o'clock last night with a Coastal game against Texas. Were it not for the Steve Grand rules of putting a runner at second base in extra innings, we might have, started that at 10 p.m. So I said last night, I almost want to kiss Steve Grand on the lips whenever that comes into play and we get a verdict in the 10th, because the coaches in the college ranks say they want to play real baseball as Barthol bounces out to first. The only problem is you're one of 3 games. And we've had a 15-inning game. We've had a 16-inning game, part of the College Classic. And the last thing you want to do is feel like you're just about ready to play and then sit around for another 2 hours.
Well, the last thing you want to do is have your team show up for a 7 o'clock game that starts at 9:30, and then you're trying to get everybody loose. So, yes, in everybody's best interest. Let's throw the ghost runner out there.
Pato came on and pinch hit in the 5th inning. I think at that point, Coastal was almost thinking, you know what, this is a 13-1 game. Let's get some guys some at bats. Well, all of a sudden it's 14-7.
It might have been an opportunity to maybe get some guys a look and get some at bats for some guys. But all of a sudden those at bats, let's see what happens, turn into at bats of consequence.
Indeed, and Pato's going to have a double as he slides into second base. 1-out double in the 8th inning.
Nice swing right there. It's a little fastball tailing back into his hands. It's a tough pitch to really stay inside of. A lot of guys will get around that, and even though they hit it hard, hook it foul. But Pato hit it pretty true to straightaway left field.
Thorndike had a couple of hits in those last couple of innings. Sends one down the line in left. Detlefson into a dive, and he tumbles and makes the catch. Hard landing, but he made the play. He lost his hat, but he has all of his limbs.
Jude Detlefson went a long way for this left-handed hitter. You're going to have him shaded a little bit towards right field, but Jude Detlefson just running straight down that line, the cut of the grass and the warning track, and that ball's running away, finally makes the dive. Nice play.
Hey, watch this landing. This makes me ache because it is a tumble at the end.
There's a dive and a roll and a
fist bump, and he got the throw in.
Hop up and get the throw in. I guess when you're 20 years old, that doesn't hurt that bad.
I would say youth is always wasted on the young, and there's absolutely no doubt about that, because I'm aching and I wasn't the one that made the play, but he's in the moment, made a nice catch. Tazi is 1 for 3, a double and an RBI in his ledger. pitches down from Qualia. A combined 25 hits and 21 runs. Big cut from Tassi and found one right back. This is the 8th spot in the lineup for Coastal. If you think it gets any easier for Coastal going forward in the next stretch when they're again a little bit shorthanded, no. They'll be at NC State midweek, and then they have Eastern Carolina at home next weekend, and then Wake Forest the following midweek. This might be by far the most difficult stretch in this interim.
Yeah, this is a program that really likes to challenge themselves, and that challenge is coming at a time when they're a little bit short-handed. But you know, the way they've shown a lot of fight here today, that's a good sign moving forward. That shows that they're not sitting around feeling sorry for themselves.
Agreed.
Certainly.
No, I think there is something to take from that. You know, there may be some portions of the conference schedule where it could be easier than what they're going through now. And starting with East Carolina, not an easy one either. And you don't get to choose when you play teams. I mean, you wear that schedule, good or bad. Qualia trying to get this through the bottom of the 8th inning. Advance this game a little bit further into the Houston afternoon. You know, Qualia has only thrown 31 pitches.
Almost 75% strikes too. So message received. He knows what his job is.
Two and two the count. That one gets away from Stuckey. It will mean a free base. Espejo advances to third on the wild pitch. Nine-hole hitter Harlan on deck. We're in slow-mo motion now. I mean, 3-2, 2 outs. We're dusting off the plate. We're going for a walk. Usually this is kind of a crescendo and a build, and not so much. Let's see what happens. Tassi waits. Here's the payoff. Front door breaking ball, strike 3. Qualia's done a pretty nice job. Strands a runner at third. 8 complete. On we go to the 9th. Roadrunners up a touchdown.
Everybody's improved who was here last year. Tari, and me.
I think there's definitely a growth.
We learn how to control the game. Coming in with an attention to detail. Be focused every game the same level.
You know, having playoff experience is huge for us going into this year, so I think that's going to really carry over. Obviously, we've added pieces, guys like KD and Josh.
Kevin, one of the greatest of all time. He's going to boost our offense.
Now becomes the path where we try and build it brick by brick.
It's back. Yep, baseball is back, and it's time to warm up with spring training on Space City Home Network.
Swing and a miss.
Time to get back in sync with all your favorite players and get to know the new guys, too.
What's up, Sean?
Yep, see it all come together. Astros Spring Training is on Space City Home Network. Presented by Whataburger.
Beautiful Dyken Park. On we go to the 9th. 14-7 UTSA leads Coastal Carolina. Again, Baylor and Texas coming up at some point to follow for our third game of day 2. Diego Diaz is going to lead off the 9th. 8, 9, and 1 spots due up. Richardson right back out there. If you're tuning in, Brian, and I know sometimes you watch these college games and they might cycle through a lot of pitchers. We're 5 pitchers into a 14-7 game.
Yeah, these are typically the games where you're running out of slots in your scorecard to put pitchers in. But, you know, a couple guys who were brought in with the task of, hey, just settle things down, get us a little bit of stability. And Jake Quaglia for UTSA and Colby Richardson's done a really nice job eating up multiple innings.
Agreed. Because sometimes that fear is when you tell somebody, hey, we need you to give us innings, and he's out there 5 batters in, he doesn't have it out, and you're like, well, this isn't working out so well.
It's probably the toughest job that there is in pitching, is coming into a game that's a little bit lopsided, but you still need to get out of there with something left for tomorrow's game. And it's like, hey, we need you to go out there and get us a whole bunch of outs, but we also need you to be efficient, which means you have to be in the zone. So you got to throw a lot of strikes to a hot offense, and it's just like setting you up for failure. You feel like you're just going to go out there and you just have to keep laying it in there. But, you know, Colby Richardson certainly has been up to the task tonight.
As you explained it, it makes perfect sense. Leadoff walk here in the 9th inning. Malden again 0 for 4. He'd like to participate in this hit parade. Malden in that 9-hole in this UTSA lineup. There's a chopper to first. Someone's got to cover. Oh, here we go. Race to the bag. Thorndike wins it. Diaz was off with the pitch. He goes to second base. Now 1 out. There's some of these UTSA Roadrunners, I think you have to plug them in at night and recharge their batteries and then turn them loose the next day. There's no easing into any of these innings regardless of the score.
No, there is a lot of action and activity in this UTSA lineup. Guys trying to do things in the batter's box. Nobody on the bases.
Still trying to steal bases.
Nobody is happy with where they are. They are always trying to get another 90 feet. And again, we talked about it a little bit earlier. You know, it's a mindset that if you want your team to have it, you can't ever let them turn it off, because it's not something that you can just snap your fingers and say, hey, we've got to go and make something happen. You've just got to always be making things happen.
No, I think it's well explained. I mean, sometimes I think we've all seen it with big leads where a team gets out to a big lead and it almost feels like they kind of put it in park. They shut it down just a bit, and all of a sudden here comes that other team and they're poking their way back in, and it's hard to kind of reignite the ignition. Miller with a soft dribbler. Someone's got to cover first base. Indeed they will. Thorndike gets back there, takes the throw from Barthol, but it does produce another run.
And there you go. Just
get him on, get him over.
One more run, a little bit more of a cushion, and it all comes without a base hit. It's a walk. It's a guy moving up on a ground ball, stealing a base, putting the ball on the ground when the infield's back. And yes, they can hit the long ball. Yes, they can split the gap and hit extra base hits, but if they need one, they can go get it too.
Ball's ripped to left, and another home run for Detlefson and the Roadrunners. How about a 4-hit game with his second home run? And they're wearing out the Crawford boxes. And that's a happy young man who picked up the souvenir. Dad says, give that to me for safekeeping. But this Roadrunner offense is something else.
And there's a lot of guys feeling really good in this offense right now. Maybe nobody feeling it more than Drew Detlefson. That's the second time he's really put a charge into a ball out there in left field. He's getting it done offensively. We've seen some really nice plays from him defensively, and just a player having a really good series right now.
There's nothing quite like the smile after a home run.
Never gets old.
Nope, I think you're onto something. Hayworth, by the way, now if Hayworth homers, we've really got something, because Detlefson has 2 home runs. Stuckey has 4 hits. Detlefson has 4 hits. Well, Hayworth could have his 4th time on base and his 2nd home run. Well, that's not going to work. That will not complete my thought, but it does end the inning. 2 more runs come across for the Roadrunners. 16-7 as we go to the bottom of the 9th at Dyken Park in the Bruce Bolt College Classic.
Space that adapts. Clarity that keeps you focused. And style that grabs hold. Welcome to the Genesis GV80. Get 2.99% APR on the Genesis GV80. Exclusively at your Houston area Genesis retailers.
Vacationing is an art, and the Palm Beaches are your canvas. Stroll along sun-soaked beaches. Unwind at boutique resorts. Explore hidden and not so hidden gems. Here you'll discover a lifestyle that's nothing short of a masterpiece. Curate your perfect collection of experiences in the Palm Beaches.
Well, here come the Texas fans. Bit of a land rush to try and get those spots, just in case you could sneak some good seats before the Chanticleer and Roadrunner fans head out to their Saturday night in Houston. 16-7 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. This is Harlan, who came on and pinch hit in the 5th inning. This is his 3rd plate appearance in the game. The man he hit for had 1 plate appearance, was hit by a pitch. In the air out to left, but should be playable, and Detlefson will run this one down, and he didn't have to leave his feet or do a crash landing.
A little bit of an easier chance out there for Drew Detlefson. We've seen him make the great play. We've seen him have the big swing, and just a little routine fly ball to left field there.
So he had a highlight catch. He had a 2-homer game. He had a 4-hit game. He had a 4-run score game. He had a 4 RBI game. That's it.
It's a nice Saturday.
It's not a bad day's work. Pitch hitter for the top of the lineup, Braden Horton, will hit for Mijos. Another Pennsylvania native on this team. Horton is 0 for 4 on the season. You know, if the Roadrunners have a fully rested bullpen tomorrow, the effort from Qualia will not be overlooked.
Absolutely. A lot of the love after this game is going to go to the offense, and deservedly so. They've put on quite a show, but in terms of setting yourself up for success tomorrow, that offense doesn't necessarily carry over, but the arms that you will have available tomorrow because of what Qualia has done, that will carry over and give you a better chance tomorrow.
Pitch in there for a strike. Obviously, the unique part about this event is that one game doesn't impact the next when it comes to head-to-head matchups, but it certainly does in your next game. It's not like if you can get into a team's bullpen, you can reap the benefits in game 3 because you're playing a different team. But, you know, I think it's hard to lose thought of that process and what that's going to be like when you get back into a regular 3-game weekend series.
Yeah, you can't just go out there and trash somebody's bullpen the first couple days and go out there on Sunday and beat them up. You don't have that luxury, but you can manage your own bullpen and you can leave yourself in a better situation.
Another ball shot out to left. Detlefsen will not get that one. Horton will have not only a hit, his first of the year, but a double.
Half expecting Detlefsen to be able to catch that ball. He's done everything else today.
Maybe he's officially run out of gas. That ball was just too far away from him, but looks like another pinch hitter coming up for Coastal. Cole Chamberlain, California native and a Texas transfer, and I heard kind of a whoop or some cheers, and that might have been from the Texas fans that recognize that name. Cole Chamberlain. One at bat in the season for Chamberlain. Going to drive a ball out into right center field. Down for a hit. It's going to play to run. Chamberlain will hold it first with an RBI single. It's 16-8.
Kevin Schnall's gotten pretty deep into his bench in this game. Some guys have gotten a couple at bats. Some guys here late are just going to get one, but shown a little bit of a spark. Everybody who's come into the game has produced a little bit.
Agreed. So Chamberlain, a California native who played at Texas, keeps working his way east. Gets a hit with Coastal Carolina and drives in a run. Maybe I bragged on Qualia just a little bit too soon. He still needs 2 more outs to end it. I don't think there's any activity going in that UTSA bullpen. So right now this is a conversation about getting those outs. He's only thrown 43 pitches.
He still should be, fresh enough, just over 40 pitches. I think it's just kind of a little bit of a reminder from Pat Hallmark. Hey, you're still in a good situation here. Don't worry about giving up a run. Don't worry about base runners. You've been successful to this point by throwing a lot of strikes and mixing it a little bit. Just keep doing the same thing. Just because a couple of them fall in doesn't mean you need to abandon your plan.
Rex Watson, the hitter. Going to sit on strike one. Watson 0 for 4 today, so he'd like to participate. In fact, he's 0 for 7 so far this weekend. Knocked down. That's going to be another free base. Stuckey could not come up with that pitch. Takes away a possibility of a double play to end the game. Ball that a strike to Watson. Backdoor breaking ball for a called strike.
Qualia has had pretty good command of that breaking ball all throughout this outing on both sides of the plate. A lot of guys tend to throw that breaking ball mostly on their glove side. He's been pretty good on his arm side too.
It's a pitch that kind of locks you up as a hitter. Wave it a miss. Watson down on strikes, and the shot clears down to their final out. Walker Mitchell, the cleanup hitter, 0 for 4, did reach on an error. Qualia trying to get this game to the finish line. It's a wave and a miss. Qualia is going to get more outs than the starter in this game. Kendall Dove. Ripped down the line in left. Fair ball again. Mitchell is going to plate another run. Mazan home to score at 16-9. That's the third hit this inning for the Chanticleers.
It's been a lot of breaking balls here in the 9th inning from Qualia. Most of them quality. That one stays up a little bit, and Walker Mitchell looked like he was looking for spin. When you're looking for spin, you're also looking for location. You want to see it up, and he saw that pitch up and wanted to jump all over it.
Blake Barthol, 0 for 4. So Mitchell got his first hit in 5 at bats. Barthol trying to do the same thing. One point in this game, it was 13-1 UTSA. They ran off 10 unanswered. Then Coastal ran off 6 unanswered before the Roadrunners scored the next 3. Another Chanticleers with 2 in the bottom of the 9th and not done. Another base hit. Probably another run. Mitchell around third. He'll score. And Qualia a little bit frustrated now. He got to the point where he got that K on Watson. He's given up back-to-back run-scoring hits, and it's 16-10.
Ball's starting to stay up on him a little bit. We saw a breaking ball hang up in the zone to Walker Mitchell. That was a fastball that kind of stayed in the middle. It looks like Qualia might be getting fatigued a little bit, but up until this point, it's his game. There's a little bit of activity down there in the UTSA bullpen now, but he's kind of been left out there to try to get it done.
This is when you really hate to get somebody else up. Pato hit a little soft pop-up. Will this ball be caught? Oh, a collision, and the ball ends up on the ground. Arquette and Baldwin were in pursuit. I thought each had a chance to catch it, but they both arrived at about the same time.
That's tough right there. You've got Josh Arquette going straight back on the ball, trying to play it over his shoulder. Ballin has the better angle, but the longer run, and it's just kind of in a spot where neither of them is sure they're going to be able to get it, so nobody to really call the other off, and you end up with 2 guys in the same spot at the same time, which is not good.
You could almost see that coming, couldn't you?
Yeah, it just felt like nobody was going to be able to get there in time to make that early call and scare the other one out. But you also have 2 guys who certainly aren't going to peel off and not go after that ball.
But there's probably a few runners out there that are thinking this game should be over or could be over. And now we got a collision. We're getting a few extra runs tacked onto the old ERA and still trying to finish it off. Pato had more playing time than the starter did in this spot. This, though, could and maybe should do it. We'll see. Hayworth underneath it. He will make the catch. That ends the game. 26 runs, but the Roadrunners get the victory. That was not a masterpiece on the mound, but these offenses were somewhat relentless today. And this Roadrunner bunch, they are a scrappy team to watch.
They're very good. They're exciting. They're fun to watch, and they're a team that certainly has an offensive identity. That identity is we are aggressive, swinging the bat and running on the bases. They're a good team, and they're a good team who knows that they're good.
That's going to do it for Game 2. Coming up, we've got Baylor and Texas. I would imagine that'll start at 7:30. We'll find out soon. For Brian Bogusevic and our entire crew, I'm Brett Dolden, thanking you for tuning in. Once again, the score of Game 2 of Day 2. The Roadrunners take down the Chanticleers 16-10. So long for now. We'll be back soon with the Longhorns and the Baylor Bears from Dyken Park on the Bruce Bowl College Classic.
Remember how great it was to report the news and share facts with the community?
We still can. Fact, the Harris County Toll Road Authority is focused on mobility for today and tomorrow.
Fact, toll road user dollars maintain the lanes and fund future roadway improvements.
Fact, Easy Tag users get a 10% discount on Harris County toll roads. We all benefit from Hectra.
Fact, we can all learn more at hectra.org.